not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on your YouTube machine. March 18th, Wednesday, March 18th. It is Happy St. Patrick's Day yesterday, so today we wear black and we drink from green cups to celebrate our Irish heritage here on The Monty Show, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Where you get clear, risk-free advice. And I can't say enough how important it is that you understand why you need an attorney when you get into an accident. And it might be just as plain and simple as your insurance company's not going to fight for you. They're not. They're going to fight for themselves to keep as little money out of your pocket and as much in their pocket as possible. So just hand the claims process to the advocates. They've fought that fight. More importantly, they've won that fight. You get back to the best version of yourself. Let the advocates do the fighting for you right now at theadvocates.com, 24/7, 365. You can talk to an injury attorney live online. No chatbots, no AI, just a live injury attorney who's going to give you clear, risk-free advice. And when I say risk-free, it costs you nothing out of pocket. There's no upfront cost. You don't pay consultation fees, big retainers. No, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case at theadvocates.com. Good Wednesday to you. Hell of a World Baseball Classic last night. A final between Venezuela and the United States. Jake, how political was the World Baseball Final for you?
I mean, there's the obvious narratives, but I wasn't sitting there watching that game thinking like, man, if we lose this game, we're going to lose some oil here. You know, we're going to lose a bunch of pride because we lost this game.
Going to lose some oil?
That's what you have people doing on Twitter. Like, oh man, if we lose this game, I mean, it hurts our reputation so terribly. And my God, what are we going to do with the oil? Like, dude, like, just shut up, dude. Like, it's not that deep, dude. It's a baseball game. And yes, I would have preferred that we won, but Venezuela was a better team last night. And, you know, they won the game.
Yeah, it was shocking that the United States couldn't hit. And then Bryce Harper with the absolute bomb. I mean, it's the home run that we all dream about as kids in the backyard when we are sitting there playing wiffle ball with the neighborhood kids. And I mean, it's an incredible feeling to do it on that stage. And then for your bullpen to turn around and melt down and essentially lose the game for you. It just sucked. Yeah, it was garbage. And I actually really enjoyed the World Baseball Classic. I really enjoyed the matchups. Obviously, you know, we all want, I think, Team USA to win, but it is what it is. But it was great baseball. I don't believe that it's going to give baseball the push that the Olympics gave hockey, for example. For example, I don't think it's going to give baseball that kind of push. But I'll tell you, it was great to see the Cubs on the bump to win the World Baseball Classic. Our closer closes out the World Baseball Classic. I mean, the Cubs had a really good tournament with Bregman and PCA and our pitching staff across multiple nations. Like, it was a good tournament for the Cubs. It really was. I mean, I don't know. I think we're in such a weird time geopolitically right now that anything Team USA is going to be controversial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you get away from that. The upcoming World Cup, I think, is going to be, and I live in a hub city. Seattle is one of the biggest cities for the World Cup. And I can tell you, just, walking down the street, there's buzz about the World Cup coming this summer. People here are really excited about it. And I'm not that excited about it. I think because, for instance, the Iranian team is supposed to play here. And Donald said the other day, hey, I can't guarantee their safety. We're not going to protect them. And so when you look at stuff like that, it puts a little different light on things like Team USA winning the gold medal, or, the United States baseball team going to the final of the World Baseball Classic. Like, it feels right now, it feels like it means more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it does. I think that Team USA had a great run this time around with the World Baseball Classic. Historically, it's been a couple of cycles since Team USA has been good and has beaten quality opposition. So it was a good run. I think that the politics of it, are clearly present, but I don't know. I didn't find myself watching this game worried about the politics last night. I found myself watching this game waiting for magic to happen, and we got that in Bryce Harper. And I contend that that'll be one of the greatest home runs that's forgotten about in terms of baseball history and lore. I think that could have been an all-time, like, hey, Bryce Harper, gave us life when we had none. And then we found a way to go out and win the game, and you just didn't get it done. And that was really unfortunate. I mean, I'm literally sitting there watching this game, eating some dinner or whatever, and he just blasts off on that ball, and I'm like yelling at the TV, dude. I'm like totally into it. Like, it's totally a vibe. Like, I was all about it, man. It was amazing. And it just, so I guess with this one, I'm not particularly in a place where I feel terrible that they lost the game. This is why I say baseball is the best game on the planet. Baseball and hockey are the two best games, because it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're playing it. Anybody can beat anybody on any day. And that's not the case in the NFL. That's not the case in college football, in my opinion, for the most part. But in Major League Baseball and in the NHL, I think that, it's all any given day. Like they were talking about on the broadcast last night, like Team USA had a day off between games. Venezuela did not. So theoretically, Team USA should have had the advantage, should have been fresh, should have been ready to go. And it just was one of those days. So, I mean, I look, I think they had a great run. I do. I think that they have nothing to hang their heads about. I think that was a tightly contested game. Casual saying that Venezuela is not a good team and we should have beat them. That's just a ridiculous take. Venezuela has really good pitching. Venezuela can hit. Venezuela has power. Like they're in the final for a reason. They are a very good team. And I think that if you're not going to hit and you're only going to put up 2 runs, you're asking to lose a ball game. So, but there's a reason that you got shut down last night. So I'm not that pissed that they lost. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. But I think I was happier to see that they got to the final than anything.
Yeah, I think they were not one. I mean, their offense is the best offense in the tournament. The problem is that you're trying to parse pitching and you're spreading guys out. And how does Paul Skeens not throw a baseball in that game? Well, because he's got a season coming up.
Yeah.
And the Pirates will lose their mind. If that's a regular season playoff game or game 7 of a series, Paul Skeens is throwing something at some point somehow.
Yeah.
Like your best pitchers, but when it's March 17th, you can't afford to risk those guys. You can't afford overworking a pitcher. Like, and I don't even know if people realize this, but they have to get permission from the teams on the workload of the pitchers. So it just from the Major League Baseball teams to allow their relievers to pitch in a high leverage situation or.
Yeah, and you've got Tarek Skubal earlier in the tournament driving like 2.5 hours to get to the ballpark from the spring training facility. So it's very much like Major League Baseball has these guys, and this is more of like an extracurricular as far as Major League Baseball is concerned.
Yeah. It was just very interesting. It was very interesting that this tournament played out the way it played out. One of the interesting things is I think that I don't know how many people understand baseball. I'm very curious about it. I'm very curious about the ball and strike call controversies. And I just think that we've lost in this country the love of baseball. I think we've lost it. Honest to goodness. I think we just don't understand it. And I could be wrong, but I was messaging back and forth with a couple of guys last night during the game. They weren't even watching. Like Marcus, who's I would say a fairly big baseball fan. He also is a season ticket holder for his favorite team. He was not watching it last night. I was really surprised by that. Like, I don't know, man. How popular is baseball in this country right now?
Well, I mean, I think that it's not as popular as Team USA hockey was, but I also think that it's unfair to compare the World Baseball Classic to the Olympics. I think that the Olympics have a stature in people's minds and hearts that's far bigger than the World Baseball Classic will ever be. I also think that you played this World Baseball Classic, certainly the end of the tournament in a ballpark that, quite frankly, just isn't iconic in any way, shape, or form. I'm guessing you did this for convenience. I could be wrong. But, it's not like you were playing this thing in Yankee Stadium or, you were playing this in some,
right.
You weren't playing it at Fenway or Wrigley or, whatever iconic, venue you want to look at. So I think that there wasn't a ton helping from a building standpoint. And, I also think that people are really thirsty for college basketball right now, and I think that is, that. Well, what was the game on last night? One of the first games, I believe it was Howard and whoever. I
didn't watch.
Was way more interested in the World Baseball Classic, and this is what I always talk about in football season, right? Is that I'm not just an obsessive football fan. I'm not. I watch football because we talk about it constantly on this show. I'm here for a big time matchup. I'm here for a big time, matchup, whether that's CFP or just in conference or whatever it might be. But I'm not just, just salivating at watching football. I do appreciate a great baseball game. I appreciate a great round of golf in an iconic venue, which is why this past week at TPC Sawgrass was such an enjoyable experience. And of course, I love the NHL playoffs. I maintain the NHL playoffs are right there for the best playoffs in all of sports. And so I do think that people don't appreciate baseball and hockey enough. No question about it.
Hey, look, you made a great point.
Well, someone's got to. I know that I'm Mr. Negative and everything's terrible, but someone's got to make great points on this show. You know what I mean?
Because I don't. I never do. But James goes out of his way every day to talk about how smart you are. And
hey, by the way, James, let me not return the favor. How does it feel to have blacklisted Team USA yesterday? How does that feel, dude? Talking about how Team USA was going to win and you were really excited. Okay, don't lie, dude. See, this is what you do. You got to be accountable to your stuff, bro. We specifically talked about this yesterday on the show in the comment section, that you had said that Team USA was going to beat Venezuela. And now you're here saying that you didn't say anything. Team USA is on your blacklist, dude. Bro, like, what's next? The soccer department?
Right. Jake flips over his TV dinner tray when he jumped up to yell home run. The lady friend was not happy and made him clean the floor with a dirty toothbrush.
Dude, I went full Joe Rogan. Yelling at the TV when a knockout happens in the UFC and Joe is like screaming his ass off. Yeah, dude, I was like, dude, I'm sitting here with my plate on my lap and I'm like, all right, dude, bro, Bobby got on. All right, Bryce, this is your moment. Like, we need some magic here. We need something, but But to your point, like dude is throwing these pitches that are moving all over the zone, and he finally grooves one. And I'm like, this is it, dude. Knock this one. And just
I didn't even get excited about when Bryce hit the home run. I didn't even get excited,
bro.
My wife was knitting next to me, and I try not to make noise because I'm not allowed to make noise. My wife doesn't like when I utter utterances. So, I got excited when he hit the home run.
Dude, I was.
I think it's one of the greatest home runs in American baseball history. Honest to goodness. I think it is for him to do, the guy's always got swag. I mean, he's one of those guys who.
How do you throw a pitch there to Bryce Harper in that moment? How do you? That's immediately after I came down from my euphoria of watching him round third base and point to the patch and let him know that Murka was back. After I came down from that moment,
after he was done making America great again, you mean?
Yeah, bro. How did you groove that pitch to Bryce Harper, dude? How did Bryce Harper see a pitch like that right in the middle of the zone, dude? I could not believe that he threw that pitch to Bryce Harper and thought he'd get away with that, man. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. I personally believe that U.S. Americans hit massive home runs in the World Baseball Classic when you throw it right down the middle.
U.S. Americans.
Yeah, it literally is I'm looking at it right now. I'm watching the home run. It's in the middle of the strike zone box.
Iraq.
Right, like, and clearly, if you had watched that at bat, he was working the edges on Bryce. They had tried to stay out of the middle of the plate against Bryce Harper.
Keyword being try. And you're not trying to throw it there. He missed his spot. He was trying to get it in under Bryce's hands, and he clearly missed that, or he was trying to go low and away. I can go look where the catcher was set up, but my guess is he was trying to either go under his hands or low and away. Yeah, Sal Perez was set up low and away, and he missed his spot. So, and Bryce just absolutely defecated on that baseball. I mean, the moment where he points to the patch is incredible. Yes.
I mean, it just is Captain America. Unfortunately, there's a graphic on the screen. So, yeah, we're out of essential amino acids. We're out. I was going to ask my significant other is unhappy with me. It tastes very good this morning. It's in my cup, the last bit of it. So, it's very good,
bro.
It is very, very good.
Oh yeah, we're out. But man, I got the final cup over here, and man, this stuff sits in my stomach so well,
dude. Man. I mainline that stuff. EAAs, I mainline it. I'm telling you. Here's Captain America right here, by the way.
Look at that.
So
look at that, dude.
It doesn't even do it. If you just search Bryce Harper home run on the old tweet machine or where, you'll see it. The crowd was jacked. They were jacked. He was jacked. Yeah, the bat flip was incredible. Right. Yeah. It is so great when a TD or other sports moments get you hyped up. Oh yeah. I mean, there's nothing like it.
But there's I have to say, like I don't get, like, in that moment, bro, like, I've never been that excited about a touchdown or like a football moment. Like,
oh my God, are you serious?
Dude, I was watching that, just waiting for something to happen, bro. Like, and it just was incredible.
Dude, I can think of,
I mean, I was pumped for the Caleb Williams run around the field touchdown against the Rams.
William Perry scoring a touchdown. Michael Jordan hitting so many clutch. I vividly remember, you want to know one of the greatest sports moments of my life? The shot on Elo. Mm-hmm. I was at my sister's house in Lake Zurich, Illinois, and we were eating pizza, watching the Bulls game. My friend Brent and I, we were like high school buddies. We had driven out to my sister's house. We were eating pizza and watching the game, and he hit the shot on Elo, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. I lived in a drug den when I was like, I don't know, 22 years old, with a bunch of baseball players. And
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Dude, I think I was about 22 or something when Jordan hit the shot in Utah. I will never forget. I was a manager at Foot Locker. And I had
Were those
sold.
the best days of your life when you were a manager at Foot Locker? Like when you
No.
look back, like
No, these are the days I'm living now. These are easily the best days of my life. But when in the past, when I look back, the best days of my life, like I have vivid memories of hitting home runs as a baseball player. I will never forget beating Mundelein High School at home. Mundelein versus, I went to Round Lake High School. I hit a home run that still has not landed. Those are great memories. Or I remember striking a guy out to end an inning. I vividly remember that. But when I think about living in that, essentially what had happened was I was a very young kid. I was a manager at Foot Locker, and I lived in a house with a bunch of friends of mine that they were a bunch of fucking losers. They were not doing anything with their lives. And I was the guy who owned the house, owned like 5 other houses. He was like 25 years old. He was one of my friend's brothers. And he was the guy that made $1 million on his paper route. And he turned that, he bought houses and whatnot. So we all lived in this rental property. But I was working at Foot Locker, and I sold the most, I don't remember what model of Jordan it was. My store sold out of this Jordan multiple times. So there was a contest with Nike. And I had won this big ass TV as part of that contest. And we were all in the living room watching the game on this TV.
Vibes.
And what's that?
I said vibes, watching your big ass TV in the living room with the boys.
And I remember we had like 10 Rosati's pizza. It was one of those moments. And it was amazing. It was fun, but my life sucked at that point. You're not making any money. I'm trying to do radio and work at Foot Locker and play baseball and hang out with it. You're a mess. Right. So I have great sports memories. The first night game at Wrigley Field, I was in a hotel room with my dog. Because my apartment complex that we were living in wouldn't allow us to have a dog at that time. So we were closing on a house. My parents were closing on a house. So we all took turns with a dog at this hotel. It just turns out that's where I watched the Cubs get rained out in their first night game. And I'll never forget Ryan Sandberg hitting a home run that day. Right? So I have great sports memories. I truly do. What do you when you think of great sports memories, what do you think of, Jake?
Cubs winning the World Series, the Hawks dynasty, certainly the Giants run, the San Francisco Giants run when I was still playing. That was a great time to be a Giants fan. We lived there, the vibe of that park at that time was just incredible. I think as a kid, Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game was an iconic moment. Sammy Sosa's corked bat for sure.
Mrs. Monty and I driving down the 210 freeway in Tahunga, California.
Tahunga.
La Cañada, Tahunga, Flint Ridge, that whole whatever. I think it was 1998, 1997. When Mark McGwire hit that home run, we were driving in her. I remember it. We were driving in her white Jeep Wrangler down the 210 freeway. We had just left the cable radio network where I had done a little talk show thing. And we're driving down the freeway and Mark McGwire hit the home run. We were listening to it on the radio. I have great memories of sports.
Yeah. And
I'm really lucky to have grown up in the golden era of sports in Chicago. The Bulls were good. Well, that's really it. 1984 with the Cubs I remember being so excited that Andre Dawson signed with the Cubs for like $750,000. That's what sucks right now for me. I don't have happiness in sports right now.
Mm-hmm.
I need Notre Dame to be good. I vividly remember Rocket Ishmael being his touchdown return being called back for holding. I remember that. I remember I hated Lou Holtz because he talked funny as a Notre Dame. Like, I have all these great sports memories from my younger days, and I have none right now. Mm-hmm. Like, the Cubs winning the World Series was paralyzing. I just couldn't believe it happened. Right? So the Hawks winning their Stanley Cups, amazing. Seeing it, touching the actual Stanley Cup and seeing the Blackhawks on there was amazing.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Right? Like, so I have great sports memories. I just, what's the right word? I romanticize baseball more than pretty much anything. Because some of my best memories as a kid were Kodak Photo Day at Wrigley Field. I've talked about this story on the show a million times. And Leon Durham putting his arm around me in the left field corner at Wrigley Field for Kodak Photo Day, and just looking over and seeing how big his hand was. Like, I'll never forget that. Sitting in the Giants dugout talking to Sean Dunston about a great play. So Sean, you want to hear a funny story? Sean Dunston, the Cubs shortstop, was a coach with the Giants when I covered the Giants. And he had his wisdom teeth removed. And so we were sitting in the dugout just shooting the shit. Sean and I talked a lot. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him one of my earliest memories as a kid was his play against Eric Davis in the Cincinnati Reds. Sean had made a catch over his shoulder and threw back to first base to double off the Reds and win the game. And he remembered it vividly. We talked about one of my great baseball memories with Sean Dunston. Sean Dunston and I talked about that while he was high from getting his wisdom teeth removed. You know, things happen.
Stuff I'll never get to experience, bro.
Yeah, stuff like sitting in Tony La Russa's office in St. Louis and just talking baseball with him, drinking Jack Daniels and eating a steak with Mike Shannon, Tony La Russa. God, who else was it at that little? I can't remember who the other guy was at the table. Oh, that's terrible. I'm old. It's like 2006. The Cardinals were about to. Tommy Lasorda. It was Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda. Yeah.
And we just happened to be sitting there eating dinner, and Tony and I had become acquaintances. Tony La Russa and I had become acquaintances because I covered the team. I worked for the Cardinals, and he was sitting at a table, and I was sitting at the bar, and I went and sat in his little table thing. And then Mike Shannon came up. Mike Shannon came up. Mike Shannon sat down, the legendary Cardinal broadcaster and player. Tommy Lasorda and some guy I didn't know from the Dodgers came in, sat down. Like, it was amazing. I am very fortunate to have the memories I have. Labor Day weekend, App State winning in the Big House. Yes. Troy Aikman to Ishmael and OT to win the game versus Washington. Okay. I remember being in a bar in Louisiana called the Cotton Gin when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. I was so upset when that happened. I loved Mike Tyson. Loved him. And I was so upset about that. Brett Favre, you mean the thumb, right?
Yeah, first team all Snapchat.
Opening touchdown to his first Super Bowl. Oh. Douglas, but you can't be happy with my memories of Michael Jordan, though. Utah guys never want to talk about the fact that it wasn't a push-off. Lots of people from West Virginia was very hyped when Mary Lou Retton won the gold, as she was from West Virginia. I have so many. Edwin Moses, Carl Lewis, like the ice skaters. God, I can't remember their names, but the ice skaters beating the shit out of each other with the crowbar on her knee. Nancy Kerrigan. Remember that?
I don't.
You remember that? I agree, Monty. My 50s have been the best days of my life. Well, I mean, your powers to crush people's sports dreams are as strong as they've ever been. So
How much has Magic City contributed to that formula for you,
Stop
James?
it.
I mean, obviously that's got to be a big factor.
James, how much weed have you been smoking? Yeah, because the thing that you not remembering cursing Team USA yesterday is a bit much. Yes, Tanya Harding. Yes. The Immaculate Reception. I have weird Chicago Bears memories because I used to watch a lot of Bears games and listen to a lot of Bears games as a kid, as a very young kid. So I remember Mike Tomczak. I remember scumbag Harbaugh as our quarterback. I remember Matt Suey. Like, I remember, you know, why is Ed Belfour one of my favorite hockey players of all time? Because I listened to Black Hawk Hockey on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And sports on the radio was different. It just was a different time. It was a very different time. Bailey Dietrich, January 3rd, 2003. Ohio State versus Miami. Yes. Yes. Some great memories, dude.
Ohio State.
Matchup throwdown. I was in 1990 and watched Nebraska win the third national championship from ages 4 to 8. God, do you remember those teams? Jesus, how good was... Think about some of the Nebraska. How good was Trev Alberts before his elbow injury? How good was Tommy Frazier? Crazy-ass Lawrence Phillips. Like, amazing. Amazing. And so things like Bryce Harper's home run, I'll never forget that home run.
No.
I love baseball. I absolutely love baseball. I think the moments in... I'm trying to think, like... I think Michael Jordan and Kobe and Shaq probably are the ones closest to me. Like I'll never forget as a young radio guy, the first time I walked into the basement of the Chicago Stadium and you walk down the stairs to go to the locker room and there's the black and white checkerboard tile, and being in the Bulls locker room for the first time, standing next to Michael Jordan for the first time at their practice facility. I'll never forget that stuff. It's incredible. Being there when Kobe and Shaq, the alley-oop, the infamous alley-oop for Kobe and Shaq, I'll never forget that. I will never. The games against the Sacramento Kings, I'll never forget that. Like, it's there. I just have so many great sports memories.
Yeah.
But are those memories better than my like personal life memories? No. I remember, you know, when your kids are born or you get married, or I mean, the vacations, the travel, you know, that's the stuff that matters. Oh yeah, certainly. Hagler Hearns, I'll never forget that. Boxing used to be a thing when I was a kid, and it just isn't anymore. Like, sports and life have changed so much in the last 10 years. I can't even describe how much it's changed. Dirk winning the championship over the Heat. God, I hated that team.
Yes.
Man, I hated that team.
The Heat team?
J.J. Barea. No, the Mavericks.
Oh.
God, I hated that.
I think
Mavericks
that's one of
team.
the... I'm not a Mavericks fan at all, but I just think in terms of clutch gene, ability to overcome, that's one of the best NBA championships that's been won in recent memory.
Ugh. Cavs Warriors, absolutely. Oh, Johnny Harline. Back to Harline. You know, the funny thing is at Man Camp, you guys, you don't remember Man Camp, but when we had Man Camp at 1320 K-Fan in Salt Lake, we had Beck and Harline reenact that play at Man Camp. They talked about it. It was the year, I want to say it was
2016?
2015, 2016. No.
Different time, man.
No.
Better
it
time.
was 2013 where Notre Dame, BYU went back to play Notre Dame. And we had Man Camp that Saturday. And Man Camp was cars.
Man Camp was badass,
UTVs,
dude.
ATVs.
Yeah.
Chicks, sports, dudes.
And you know the thing I remember about Man Camp, which was interesting, is you roll up to that joint and there's not much happening outside of the building. But you walk in the building, and it's just like this wonderland of bro stuff. Like you were just saying.
When Utah used to have winter. Utah doesn't have winter anymore, but when Utah used to have, winter, it was
winter
cold
already
out.
came through. Yeah.
Yeah, up in Farmington, it was cold out. So, it was amazing. It was such an amazing event. It was so amazing. It was so much fun. I can't even describe it. Boxing is just nowhere near as good as it used to be, like so many other things in our life, right? 94, the Rangers winning the Stanley Cup with Messier. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. I loved it when Dirk led the Mavs to a title.
How are you a Mavericks fan, dude? Can I ask that question? How are you not a Thunder fan? You're an Oklahoma State fan.
He's not an Oklahoma State fan. He's a TCU fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fan of any team that's good, Jake. The Heat and others were making fun of Dirk, and I think it was sick at the time. He was sick at the time. Okay. The team carrying Leftwich down the field after he broke his leg and he throws the winning TD. Yeah, we all remember that. There's so many great, like all the Tiger Woods memories, all the Kobe memories.
Dude, the Tiger Woods that I am genuinely disappointed that I was not able to watch Tiger in his prime. I think it's such a special time in sports. Like just now being so ingrained in golf and understanding the dynamics, like I can't even begin to fathom what that must have been like, dude.
I don't want to talk about golf right now.
Well,
I had a rough moment with my driver last night. I don't know. Do we play the video?
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't we play the video, dude? People will love this.
I mean, yeah, but I won't love it. That's the problem. I won't love it. I had a rough moment with that. So you guys know I play a lot of golf. Well, I don't. I practice a lot of golf. And I've been trying to fix my over-the-top swing, which is club path. And so I'm at the range last night. And I have a tool. Sorry to wake you up, Jake. I have a tool.
Why do you always do that, bro? See, this is what I don't understand. I could do it to you. I could do it to you, and I never do it, yet you do it to me. Don't get it.
I'm a red ass. I have a tool called a blue brick, and it helps you use a box that sits on the ground. It's a big heavy metal box with an alignment stick that sticks up so that you swing over it on the backswing and under it on the and it just,
and it had been working. It had been working for you. You were it's a good tool, but unfortunately, this one went a little bit awry. Bro.
Fuck.
Dude. Oh my God, bro.
And of course, Jake doesn't put the video in, and I don't even know if I can put the video in. He doesn't put the video in of all the other great swings, right, that I had with the driver last night.
Let me tee it up for you guys. I can put one in for you.
Okay.
Losers.
Grow up. Yeah, it was incredible. The demoralizing feeling of having to walk out onto the grass to get my driver head, which was snapped. That sucked. And the swing right before that was magic. Crushed it.
Yeah, hold on. I got you.
It is, and that this stick had worked. This whole thing had worked. The blue brick, if you struggle with club path, I would highly recommend you get the blue brick. It is, I just cannot say enough about how good it is, right? Like it's remarkable what it's done for my swing, right? Like it just, and then that one swing.
Okay, so what are you doing about this? Obviously, we're going to
Well,
LA
I have a golf
next
trip
week.
a week from right now. I have a golf trip.
Right. So that's my point. So what's the game plan to get it sorted?
Well, obviously, I reached out to Garrett, our guy at PXG, our fitter in Utah, who, if you say Monty, if you give him the keyword Monty Golf, will give you a free fitting. And he's trying to figure out if it's under warranty. If it's not, can he get me a shaft? Like, there's a PXG store in Seattle. Like, so today I'll figure it out.
Okay,
Today I will.
Here's Monty texted this to me and said this is one of the best swings of his life, and I maintain that he is correct on this.
Yeah, that was incredible.
So that's what it's supposed to look like. And so the hard part is that this inevitably happens, and nobody likes to talk about it. But like when you golf enough, when you practice enough, when you're using different tools and stuff, you're gonna break your clubs at some point. Like you'll snap a shaft, you'll damage a head. Like it happens. You know, you'll wear out your irons. Like it happens, dude. And it's a terrible feeling because yeah, Mike, 100%. You know, it's a terrible feeling. But the good news is that I think what'll end up happening is the driver head wasn't damaged. That's the good news. So you don't need a new driver head. You just basically need to reshaft that same driver head, and it'll just be a question of.
And I still have the hosel fitting, so I can probably walk into any golf shop and get it.
Yeah,
but I'd like to see if we can get it replaced. You know, was James a fan of Monty's driver? He was. Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, epic. There's a new memory. Yeah, dude, that is the worst feeling. And the funny thing is, and you guys will think I'm just self-aggrandizing. I'm not. When you are my size and you're at the range, and when you hit a ball, it makes a certain sound, people pay attention to you.
You got to get stroked.
As you're aware, when you're at a range and you're hitting the ball well, or maybe somebody else is hitting the ball well, people watch what you're doing. So
I think I've hit it every time.
Everybody saw it happen.
Did anybody ask you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Broke the alignment stick, broke the shaft of my driver. And like there was this guy next to me, and then there was a guy on the other side of me with his wife. They were taking turns. And he was laughing. And the guy came up to me. He's like, everything good? You okay? I'm like, yeah, dude. It's like I just hit the stick on the way down. And
so instead of the ball being lost, the driver's lost, dude.
Yeah. And surprisingly, I really wasn't even that upset about it when it happened.
You
know. And it's just like, why now? When I have a golf trip coming up and I finally found some certain type of way to hit a driver, I can't swing my driver now. You know.
You still got the mini though.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think I hit it every time. My handicap is 50.
I think I've hit it every time.
It's a lot of handicap. Do you think your home management group in Utah can get the right knob to fix your driver? You know?
Oh, no.
You ain't wrong, Mike. Did you just say Monty needs some new head?
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys.
That's the same with baseball. That's why I hate aluminum bats.
What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean?
What?
Bro,
Like,
are
what?
you high right now?
Yeah. Who are you, Holloway? How much weed are you smoking?
I mean, are you a couple pounds a day kind of guy, or what are we talking about here?
Personal use without a tax stamp. Did you guys see the update on that story?
Bro.
Speaking of calling the advocates.
Dude.
Bro. Aden Holloway Okay, here's where the cops are just.
Here's the deal.
Okay. So originally wasn't the story that he got pulled over,
Yes. Yes.
but now it turns out they raided his home
They had a warrant to search his apartment.
after a drug investigation.
Yes.
I'm not totally clear on how all this came together. I thought they had pulled him over, found a pound of marijuana in the car without a tax stamp, and they were like, okay, you're going to jail. But now the story comes out, they served a warrant at his residence and found 2.1 pounds, which I would point out, and just because I've had this exact conversation in Oakland, California, believe it or not. Do you guys know that that's just short of a key? That's just short of a kilo.
Pay that man his money.
They raid his home. They find paraphernalia, loose marijuana in a bag, and then packaging materials. None of it had a tax stamp. So let me explain the tax stamp thing real quick, because this is fascinating. Everybody's like, oh, well, what do you mean? Pay tax on weed?
But
Yeah.
he just needs to go to the post office to get a stamp, Monty. What do you mean?
They're such red asses in Alabama. They passed a law several years ago. I think it was 1998, actually, where if you're a drug dealer and you are holding a large sum of product, you have to register the product's real value with the revenue service in Alabama, and they will give you
value, bro.
They will give you a stamp, and you will pay the tax on that. They cannot arrest you. You cannot be prosecuted, and you do not have to give the details of this product. But you have to pay taxes on it.
Bro.
And why are they doing this? Because they know you'll never go register it, and they know that they can take more money from you. Listen, I get it. You're being a dick. That's what this tax stamp in Alabama thing is.
Yeah.
This is just you turning the screws. Listen, you're drug dealers, and you probably shouldn't be drug dealers, just my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is the government being a red ass.
100%, dude. But what's worse is your lawyer's trying to sell us a bill of goods that this is for personal use. Dude. There's no way in hell that this is for personal use. And I don't know, dude. I just have a hard time. Like, my understanding was that he did get pulled over, and then the portion at his place is in addition to what was in the car. That was my understanding. So I agree that it's not totally clear as to just how much bro had, but what is clear is it was in fact poundage of product, and I don't know. Personal use. Okay, dude. I don't know. Like, what, you're not making enough money in NIL, dude? Like, what are we doing?
Bro, you're telling me that you had pounds of weed in your apartment.
Because it's illegal.
Pounds of weed. Not ounces, pounds. Do you know how much weed 2 pounds, 2.1 pounds is in bulk?
Bruh.
That's not a little bit of weed, dude. You personal use.
Hold on, bro. Like,
now, I'm obviously bros, and I think you all are aware of my lack of weed experience in that I've actually never smoked weed, not one time in my life. Where do you store 2.1 pounds of weed?
Oh, Monty, I just put it in the cabinet. What's the big deal?
Like, are you putting that in the freezer like it's batteries?
Yeah, do we need to have another conversation about people's fridges, dude?
Are we hiding this in coffee grounds? Like, where are you storing 2.1 pounds of weed? Where does one keep 2.1 pounds of weed? Under
Monty,
the mattress?
I bought a chest. It was part of my business, so it's a tax write-off. I mean, I didn't think it was a big deal.
Do you have your own cabinet, armoire for your weed and accoutrements? That's a lot of fucking weed.
Yes.
There's you cannot tell me under any circumstance, you cannot tell me that 2.1 pounds of weed is normal or for personal use. I do not
interpreting what I'm saying.
I do not buy that. You can, dude, you're full of butthole. Like there's no way. There is just no way.
Bro's got a stash for personal use that's like 2 years deep, bro.
And if it's not personal use, how long does it take you to smoke 2.1 pounds of weed? Because according to Nate Oates, they have standards. Remember this guy now.
We've got standards in our program, and we've got ways we've held our guys accountable, and we try to keep everything in-house. Obviously, some of the situations you can't, and this is one of those, and, situation's a little different. When we found out about what was going on this morning, I found out this morning.
A little different. It's 2 pounds of weed.
Went down this morning, so we had to suspend them pending the investigation by the UA, Office of Student Conduct, and we're certainly disappointed in his behavior. But that being said, we still love him. He's still our guy. We're
dude, shut up.
Okay.
It's 2 pounds of weed, bro.
I just Googled how long would it take to smoke several pounds of weed, and this is what Google came back with. The average daily smoker smokes half an ounce, about 14 grams, and that can last an average user about 2 weeks. At that rate, 3 pounds, 48 ounces could last over 4 years, bro. 4 years for an average user.
And I was reading online, take this with a grain of salt. I was reading online that this is considered loose marijuana, and it was in allegedly it was in 2 big ass freezer bags. Like, that's not just a fun weekend. Yeah, I bro, you can't tell me that this guy's not going down for distro. You there's just no way.
There's
just no way.
Here's the problem for his defense too. This is the question I have. How are you going to prove it was personal use? Like, what's the defense look like?
You don't have no. You don't have to prove it's personal use. They have to prove you were distributing, trafficking.
Yeah.
And if they served a warrant on you, they had information.
Well, information and evidence, clearly.
Let's hope they check the video surveillance box.
Right.
But if they served that warrant, if they got that warrant approved by a judge, they had probable cause.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was selling at his door or if he was somehow involved in illegality related to selling weed. We don't know any of that, but you would have to think you're serving a warrant. And was there a traffic stop that led them to have probable cause to get the warrant to search his home? Well, I'm going to say if it's true, you're riding dirty with a pound of marijuana in your car, that's probably enough to get a warrant to search your crib. Just my guess.
Right.
But that seems A plus B equals distro. Like that's not personal use, bruh. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're being an idiot, dude. And that's why, like, I made some shorts yesterday for social media talking about how Bro should be fired. And everyone's like, no, dude, he's not responsible for his players off the floor. Like, there's no way that you can hold Nate Oates accountable for Aden Holloway, smoking this much weed, man.
Bruh.
And I'm just like, dude, like, what do you mean, dude? They're here for 1 year to play basketball at Alabama, and you're trying to tell me that dude's not responsible for them for 1 year. Like, that's what I don't understand, bro. This isn't like dude was out with the boys at a bar or something and was out back, just smoking one and got popped, and the cops are being a-holes about it.
No.
You're talking about having a ton of product and the appearance and clearly some evidence of some sort of distro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this is a pretty clean cut case of like you're doing something that got you attention. And if that traffic stop did indeed happen, I would like to know what he got pulled over for. Did you run a stop sign? Is your tail light out? tags aren't up to date? Like,
I'd be really
what did they get you
interested.
for? What did they
I'd
get
be
you
really
for?
interested to know.
Because you know how this goes, dude. They get you for some type of traffic violation, and then all of a sudden, your car reeks of the smell. So
Banana
in
in the
dude.
tailpipe, Monty.
It is. I think it's a really just a weak argument to make that this is personal use. I just do, and I agree with you. Legally, they have to prove it was distro. It's not on them to prove that it was personal use. I get that, but I don't know, man. I'd have a tough time seeing him getting away from this with nothing. That would be shocking.
You're not getting away with this with nothing. That's not happening. I just don't see. I don't see any way, shape, or form that you're just walking away. You should never. And listen, maybe I'm just a dick. I totally get that. I call Jake out for yawning on this show, as Mike Smith points out.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm a bad person. I'm here for it.
Come on, dude.
Put a tax stamp on it, bro, and none of this would have happened. No, that's not true. They'd have got you in some way. Tree tax in Bama. Yeah. You want to smoke that bark, dude? You better pay for it.
Pay that man his money.
Is there time for Alabama to try and get another injunction with a pro? Say Nate Oates should be fired. I mean, this is the second major felony that a player's picked up under his watch. Like the other one was non-existing somebody.
But Monty, unprecedented success for Alabama basketball under Nate Oates, man. All the Sweet 16s, the Final Four appearance.
No, but
oh my gosh.
No, but Monty's, Monty. No, right? Like no, but Monty's. You just can't continue. And I get my ass beat in the comment section over this. Every time I say this. You can't continue college athletes you cannot continue to allow college athletes to put their communities at risk.
Yeah.
Team SRT at Georgia.
Yes.
The weed smokers at Alabama. The alleged sort of no charges. Here, let me bring this car over, and there happens to be a weapon of interest in there that then was used to non-exist somebody. Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, bro. Wrong place, wrong time. Nate Oates should be fired for this. At some point, I like winning basketball games, but that's a lot of lettuce you're growing in your garden there, Holloway.
Hey, by the way, just quick question, Aden. How hard is it just to go to class and be a basketball player? Can I just ask that? Just asking for a friend, dude. Why did we need to get involved in this type of business? Like what? Like you're clearly on the path to the NBA, and now that's probably down the drain for you, depending on how this goes.
Well, he's a good player, not a great player, but this was a breakout year for him, right? I mean, certainly this was a breakout year for him. I just don't know. It's baffling to me. We're talking about the best times of our life on the show. If you're just tuning in, we were talking about how some of these are the best times of our life. You can't tell me that Aden Holloway isn't setting up the best times of his life while he is at Alabama playing basketball and allegedly chilling with 2.1 pounds of weed at his house. Or off-campus apartment.
That's what's always been beyond me. And maybe this is me just not being cultured. Maybe this is just, hey, you work office job. You're not out in the real world.
Suburban white guy?
Suburban
That's
white guy.
offensive.
Dog. White picket fence. I get it, dude. But
you lives in Eugene, white guy, Oregon? Yeah, I'm gonna say you're not cultured, bud.
I don't understand who thought it was a good idea to do this. Like, and this is what I say every time. Like, it's not even unique to Holloway. Like, every time someone gets in trouble, like, yeah, Plaxico, did you really think that was a good idea to be at that place at like 2 a.m. with that, in your waistband and, then you're surprised your leg got blown off? Hey, Henry, did you think it was a really good idea to be out late at night driving that fast? Yeah, you probably weren't thinking about the repercussions of that, were you, dude? Yeah, hey, Tyree.
2.1 pounds of weed.
So you thought it would be okay to have that much product? By the way, hey, just asking for a friend. I mean, I know that this is a dumb question, right? But how much did you spend on that, bro? What's this? So this is personal use. You invested what has to be at least 5 figures, at least, in that stash.
Can we? I probably shouldn't search this because
street value.
FBI will be here.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama street value for 1 key. What does Google say the average would be?
Google AI says that it's about 2.1 pounds of marijuana in a low-end commercial grade is about $2,000. High-end average grade is $4,200. High-end top shelf is $6,000. You know.
Okay, maybe he went out of state. Maybe he went to another market. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not versed in this community.
You just pissed away your basketball career for, let's get crazy, a key of marijuana, $6,000 at the top end. Because isn't a key of marijuana 2.2 pounds? Pretty sure. I'd have to look that up. If I'm wrong, I'm stupid. I totally get it.
Program.
But you just gave away your basketball career for $6,000. That's stupid. And I shouldn't even say that. Oh, look at this, Jeremiah Champion. Guys, I worked in the industry. I'm telling you, he didn't pay. Right. But what I'm saying is, Jeremiah, it's not that he paid that much. That was the street value. That's a great point. So if he paid, what do you think he paid for that? A couple hundred for a key? Probably, I would guess.
Okay, Jeremiah is saying
a key of weed is probably $500, $600. I would think. I mean, depending on where you are. No, a key of weed isn't $3,000. What do I know? Anyway, the point is, his profit and loss does not add up, right? Like, you just gave away millions in NIL for a key of weed, not a key of Coke, not a key of H, a key of weed. Let that sink in. And you didn't even get to flip it. You got caught holding. Dude, you probably lost 500 to a GER when that weed was seized. And you're going to lose more than that because of court costs, fines, and you didn't have a tax stamp.
Because it's illegal.
Let's call it $20,000. You just gave away $20,000 on this weed deal and millions of dollars in NIL.
Because you couldn't stay in the gym, stay in class, or stay on the hardwood.
Stupid. Yes, because here in Colorado, you can legally get a pound for $200 to $500. That's what I'm saying. Wow. Retail street value, if broken down into smaller individual sales, the value can reach $10,000 to over $20,000. Yeah, maybe. That better be some good stuff, right? Good. Pound Town. Yeah. I should add, you have to be a medical patient, and yeah, whatever money he did make is going to go to legal fees now.
Billable hours.
You know, Lopes fan Gabe, bro really buys his weed at Costco. Seriously.
Kirkland signature, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to need some Ziploc bags. Can you tell me what aisle here at Costco the Ziploc bags are
listen,
in?
bro, just head to the back wall. All of our stuff is sold in bulk on the back wall.
Can I get the gallon? Can I get the gallon freezers? And you know what? What the hell? I'll take some sandwich bags too.
Bro, can you imagine if Costco had like the a room like they do for dairy for the Mary Jane, dude? Hey, yeah, it's right over here on the sidewall. We have a whole room. Just head in there and you'll be fine.
Let me get we sell scales, snack size Ziplocs, sandwich size Ziplocs, freezer gallons, whatever you need.
Oh,
hey,
we even
also
sell
have
trunk organizers, dude.
Yeah. Hey, man, we sell like secret compartments for your car.
Hey, player.
Oh my God. He sent me that This dude sent me one of the creepiest videos. This fucking guy. Big Daddy Magic, you guys broke a record last night. He sent me a video that might be the creepiest video I've ever gotten from this bro.
Oh, dear.
You got it. I sent it to you, Jake.
Just play it on your phone.
I'm gonna.
Play it on your phone.
That's how we always play his videos.
Yeah, that's why I don't put it in the system, because we just play it on the phone.
I'm warning you now. Excuse me. I'm warning you now. The creep factor on this is legit. Let me turn it up.
Hey, player. I'm at the Chinese restaurant.
Speaking of weed.
But I'm eating out every day. Next time you're in Utah, player, me and you will go get geisha.
Geisha.
Eat sushi off a naked lady. I'll buy. But get Mrs. Monty's permission first. Holla, holla. Big Daddy out. Bye.
I'm going to wake up and he's going to be in bed next to me one day. That's one of the that's one of the creepiest videos we've ever gotten.
The wave is that's
okay. Get Mrs. Monty's permission.
I don't. Yeah, there are some days where the internet has me. Yeah, not wanting the internet, if you will. That's weird, dude.
Really,
I'm sorry,
weird.
bro. I'm not trying to be mean to you, but that is weird.
I love $20 Chinese food. I mean, you want to kidnap me? Just wave some $20 Chinese food in front of my face.
Come on, dude.
You know, he's easily going to make those losses back in Funyuns and Swisher Sweet NIL money, right? Swisher. Dave, you just said Swisher Sweets.
Gabe, why is it that this is the topic you choose to get most involved in? Like, you've been waiting for this, dude.
Bro, there is a penis enlargement story we're going to talk about, non-sports stories today, that's going to blow your mind. No pun intended. Like,
the biggest load that we've seen.
What is wrong with people? The stuff going on in the world right now, from the McRib meat thing yesterday to, you know, today's show. Hit the like button, please. And today's show has been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
James would go to Big Daddy Magic City. I think he would. You know, I'm convinced that Big Daddy's blood is green at this point. Whoa. I feel like he lives in a constant state of medicated. Dude smokes weed like ain't nobody's business. Delt 8 equals Walmart weed. What do you mean?
Don't know that reference, dude.
I don't know that reference either. All right, hour number 2 of the Monty Show. Let's get into it. Did you guys see this Darryn Peterson story? The Kansas stud, Darryn Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Darryn Peterson. How would you describe his full body cramping situation, Jake?
How would I describe it? I think he had to come up with a reason as to why he keeps coming out of games. I struggle to buy it because of how it looks on TV. You watch the game, you watch how he gestures to the sideline. Think about how painful cramps are, man. You're telling me that this dude's playing in a highly competitive basketball game with some of the best athletes the college basketball has to offer, and you're telling me this dude just randomly gets cramps but looks totally normal, doesn't look like he's in pain. No, that's what I have trouble with,
bro.
dude. So I don't I guess, yeah, I don't believe him. I guess that's what I am saying. I am really careful to say guys are being disingenuous about how their body feels or injuries or things like that. But I do genuinely have a hard time with this one, man. I feel like there are so many other reasons as to why he'd be coming out of these games. When you look at the draft, his agent, the mingling with his agent and leadership at Kansas. And we've just seen so many different examples as to why he would check out of games. And I also think the other thing that supports this concept is that Bill Self is so blunt about the situation. Bill Self wouldn't be saying things like, hey, if you want to fix the narrative, play more, if his player was actually suffering from something.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, you would be hearing Bill Self say things like, yeah, he's really struggling with this or that. And, it's quite the process. The kid loves the game. He's given us everything he has. And it's just
Greek
something he's dealing
tragedy.
with. Yeah.
It's Greek tragedy.
But we're not hearing that. So I just,
no.
This, how do I view him? Yeah, he's a hell of a basketball player. But I just think that he's damaged goods at this point.
He's good at playing basketball. He's not a great basketball player. And I think and I know you guys are going to be like, shut up, Monty. What are you talking about? Same thing, prick. It's not the same thing. Being a professional basketball player is, go look at Cooper Flagg. I think he's the best young player in the NBA, bar none. Darren Peterson will never be on that level. Because I don't get the vibe off of DP that he loves playing the game, that his entire life is spent playing basketball because I love it. It's a paycheck. It's a job. He'd be the guy that I'd be like 2.1 pounds, not surprised. Right?
Yeah.
He isn't, in my opinion, he does not display the characteristics of a guy whose everything is winning college basketball games, which at this point in his life should be all that matters. I don't believe that he was having full body cramps. Who am I? Dr. Monty? Could be. But I just don't believe the story.
Yeah, and I think the credibility obviously is damaged too, just with how the season went and everything. So it's hard to be like, because there was a time when you could clearly see that he was working hard on damage control. You could tell, when he came out and did that press conference where he was like, I love the game, and you guys question me is ridiculous. This is my life. Yeah, okay, dude. Sorry, we still don't believe you. And
Jake is at the point, Jake, you guys, Jake is at the point where Darren Peterson says, I had a full body cramp, and he texts me and he's like, this guy's foolish.
I literally said that, dude. You're lying. You are not telling the truth. I don't believe you, dude. Sorry,
get a
bro.
Random text in the middle of the day from Jake. I'll be doing whatever. I'll be 21 timing a month. I'll be doing whatever I'm doing. And I'll just get the rando text from Jake. This guy's full of shit, Monty. And the best part is Jake's texts are full of emotion. So they'll be like, you can read the outrage. You can read the outrage in Jake's texts. When he sends you any ding dongs, right? When he sends you something about, I can't think of something else off the top of my head, but
let's see. Let's go to the text feed here. Let's see.
He'll give me something like, "Let's go, baby."
Yeah, let's see. What did I say? Let's see. Oh yeah, the joke.
Kevin Durant's shoe. Durant's shoe.
Yeah. Let's see. What did I say about Kevin Durant's shoe?
The outrage. You said the fall has to be studied.
Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. I'm trying to find out what did I say?
Jake sends me a picture of Kevin Durant's new shoe, which is hardcore ass. Bro, this shoe is awful.
Okay, so this picture was in a tweet that I sent Monty over text. I said, fall off needs to be studied. Jesus Christ. Because the thing is, the backstory is, I used to love Kevin Durant's shoe. We played him all the time.
Jake and I I would go as far as to say we would collect Kevin Durant's shoe. Yeah. And we would play in it. I sold a pair of Kevin Durant shoes on eBay last night.
Yeah.
His Aunt Pearl's. Mm-hmm. But my wife is selling all of my shoes on eBay right now. It's disgusting. Anyway, the point is, So we used to collect Kevin Durant shoes when we were playing basketball. And Jake was the outrage that Jake has experienced over how terrible looking.
It's ass, dude. It's terrible. Like,
it's just, it's the thing is, you look forward to Jake texting you because you know, he's not going to be right because Jake's just not very smart. He's not intelligent.
Right.
So he'll be wrong, but you will get comic relief because he's never seen The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you just know he has no, where's the frame of reference drop? You have no frame of reference here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I love when.
Give you any frame of reference.
Thank you, Senator. It's just, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
You know, last night the home run goes off. You know, Bryce hits this absolute bomb. And I send the Joe Rogan gif of him yelling after a knockout happened. And I said, dude, F yeah, so pumped. And then you didn't reply to me for like 4 minutes. So I sent another one. And I'm like, dude, I'm so effing pumped over that home run. That was awesome. Like, you know.
It was. The funny thing is, I did reply to you. It just didn't send. So, you know. Yeah, back in the day, Jake loved KD the way he loves Dan Lanning.
Yeah, dude, big package peeper, bro. What was all about it? I had the
fat head.
I had the fat head.
The jersey, the OKC shorts.
KD5s. I believe it was a KD5. Let me just confirm.
Black with the red swoosh.
Gold swoosh. I Nike ID'd a KD5 all black body.
I had the red swoosh.
And you had the red swoosh. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it was like just awesome. And you know, I guess it's just tough because like the first time I experienced the shoe game falling off was Kobe 4s. We had 2 pairs of Kobe 4s that were at those are my favorite shoes to play in before I got into KDs. And it was just like, dude, they stopped offering them and it was really hard to get them. And I played in them so much that I had split the sidewall of them and was so pissed off about that. And it just was, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say that we get after it for sure.
We do. Darren Peterson's next NIL deal is going to be Midol. Bro, come on.
Too fucking bad, man.
Too bad. Here's my question. Okay, here's old man Monty.
Here's the deal.
Wouldn't you sue Kansas for being derelict in your medical care? Like if you're having full body cramps, wouldn't you pull him out of basketball and do every test possible to figure out why his system is shutting down? And
I'm a fucking unit.
You would just let him keep playing parts of games when it's an ongoing worsening condition? Oh, that's right. You're full of shit. That's right. That's right. That's right. That explains it. That's right.
That's it, Skippy.
Gotcha. Okay.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
I'm having a full body cramp. Oh, wait, that's my calf, not my entire body.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, dude. You have so much sodium from all the crappy ass food that you eat at Buc-ee's that it's no surprise.
Really surprised.
Yeah, it's no surprise that you're cramping your ass off.
I swear you have a black soul, Jake.
Dude.
He does.
Bro.
He does. As an African-American and dead, you know, it's fine. I remember I would get killer cramps in the bottom of my feet at night when I was in the Army. On the bottom bunk, once I got one, sit up real fast, but hit my head on the metal brace bar. Dude, foot cramps, Mrs. Monty and I deal with them regularly.
Any type of leg cramp is the great equalizer.
Oh,
thigh cramp, hamstring cramp.
When you go to Hawaii, that's when I get really bad leg cramps.
Yeah.
I don't get them often, but you travel all day. You go to Hawaii, and then it's so humid, you just sweat out of every orifice.
Dude, you do all your activities during the day. You're sweating your balls off. You're trying to keep up with water and you're not even close. Then you get to the hotel at night and you have a couple drinks. You're winding down the day. You're on vacation. You're not worrying about who James is cursing next or if, Holloway's got another brick in his apartment.
Holloway.
You're just enjoying life.
Jake, it's not a brick. It's a key. Get it right.
My bad. You're not worried about whether Hank Voigt's going to roll up to dude's door to find the key in his apartment. You're not worried about any of this stuff. You're just worried about having your marg and eating some chips, and it's great. But that cramp is going to come for that ass after that shower you're going to take tonight to clean out all the ball sweat that you've accrued from the day. And that's the problem. That's the true problem, which is why we learned our lesson, right? We don't do as much snorkeling nowadays. We golf while we're in Hawaii. That way, at least if we get a cramp, we're not going to drown. There's a difference there.
Truth. And my wife, I think my wife is a sadist is probably too strong, but it's not that far off. I think she gleans great joy when I have cramps. Like when I get a calf cramp.
Unbelievers.
Because I have prodigious calves. I have Whittingham calves. Like they are beautiful and they should be studied.
Your legs definitely look smaller too, by the way, in the golf videos. I've noticed that.
Bro, you guys. I don't know what happened over this week. I'm losing weight again. Like it's wild. Anyway, I think my wife secretly laughs inside of her dark soul every time I get a leg cramp. She loves it. Because she gets cramps in the arches of her feet and they're just miserable. And I'll get a cramp a year. But man, I think because she wakes up in the middle of the night when I have a cramp, breathe it out. Breathe it out, fat ass.
Breathe it out, dude. Breathe
it out.
I need to be breathing oxygen in, dude. I need to be ingesting oxygen to help with the cramp, bro.
It's amazing that when you get a leg cramp in the middle of the night in bed, do you know how difficult it is to get the covers off of you with a leg cramp?
Biologics.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Human or non-human?
I honestly think she takes great joy in that. I believe that she goes in because my wife spends, before we go to bed, my wife spends like 3.5 hours in the bathroom doing whatever women do before they go to bed. I think part of her time in the bathroom is sticking pins in a doll that looks like me, and she just sticks them right in my calves.
Who is she?
My thighs.
James?
Yeah, like she's doing the whole tiki doll. Monty's going to have a cramp tonight.
Straight
right
up Ghost
here
Adventures material.
Because dude, there is nothing worse than that. You get a leg cramp in your thigh in the middle of the night, and it won't go away. It's holy terror.
Yeah, and the other problem is if you live like in mountain regions where you're at altitude, that's going to happen more, dude.
Oh,
because it's drier and the air's thinner.
I'm so tired of cold weather. Wait, I could buy a pair of Monty's shoes. Yes, they're on eBay. My wife, dude, in all seriousness, I joke about she does laugh at me when I'm in pain, but that's not the thing. Anyway, my wife,
Timothy.
My wife is incredible. Like because I told you guys, we moved from like, I don't even remember how much, 1,600 or 2,000 square feet of a house.
Something like that, yeah.
Hundreds of pairs of shoes, a room fully dedicated to my shoe collection, to, 900 square feet of a condo in downtown Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have hundreds of shoes. She is selling my shoes on eBay, making money on it. Like just used shoes, sort of used shoes. She says to me last night, "Oh, you can't sell those in new condition. I can see the crease from where you wore them." Like this lady's like looking at creases in my shoes. Like, and you wonder, is that the best time of your life, Monty? No, my wife. You want to know the best time of my wife? My life is my wife asking me about the creases in the shoes she's selling. My shoes she's selling on eBay. Oh, best fucking time of my life ever. It's incredible. And she's making money on it.
Bro,
it's
that's
wild.
hilarious, man. That's hilarious.
Oh God, LOL, I can't type. I'm going to go play Digimon. Okay.
If that's what we're calling it now, I'm in.
You do what you got to do to get through your 21 times a month, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Is your roommate still peeing on the floor? And you think I have a complicated life. At least my wife doesn't pee on the floor. You know. Oak State James definitely looking forward to J2H texting him love you.
Nope, not. Dude, I mentioned that one time. Hey, by the way, you red asses in the comments section, I forgot to get to this earlier in the week. Any love for the fact that J2H was years ahead on the Timberwolves going to the Eastern Conference? Any love on that, dude? Any love on the fact that
You're really claiming
my sources that I don't have told me from the sideline that doesn't exist that the Timberwolves are going to the Eastern Conference now? I told you guys that years ago, dude, and no love for it in the comments section. It's unbelievable.
So a week from now, the NBA is going to vote to expand in Seattle and Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. It's Seattle and somebody else that are going to go to Memphis. Thank you. That are going to go to the Eastern Conference. Jake, because he's not cultured. When Rudy Gobert got traded.
Oh, Monty, you don't know basketball or ball. It's Rudy Gobert.
You say his name right. When Rudy Gobert. You don't know ball, Monty. Do you even watch Jazz games? Fat ass. When Rudy Gobert got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jake was like, oh, he's going to dominate in the Eastern Conference. And so for like a year, the joke was, wow, the Lakers are going to win the Eastern Conference championship. Oh, man, dude, the Suns are going to dominate the Eastern.
Did you guys see Dame last night in the Eastern Conference for Portland? What an incredible performance.
For like a year, everybody joked about opposite day in the NBA because Jake said the Timberwolves were in the East. And now they're going to be in the East. And it's almost like throat slamming Dan Lanning has been his penance for not knowing the difference between Illinois and Nebraska as it comes to the Mississippi River the other day.
Erroneous on both counts.
Or that Minnesota is in the Western Conference of the NBA. You know, it's not like you do a sports show for a living. It's fine.
Good for you, buddy.
You know, good job. The Timberwolves in the East is right as rain.
Couldn't agree more, dude. Couldn't agree more.
Right as rain.
Couldn't agree more, dude. Couldn't agree more.
Jake dropping a right as rain.
Could not agree more, dude.
Where did you even get that?
Right
I watch Landman, dude. No,
yeah,
shut up.
Right off the top of my head, dude.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
See, this is the problem. You legitimately think that most of the time I'm not smart, and in fact, I am smart. I am.
You're
capable.
not, Jake. You're not stupid. You're unintelligent, and
I'm not unintelligent to the point where I have damn near a key in my apartment, dude.
Listen, right as rain is one of those old people or old world sayings that you effing millennials just don't know.
Caramel.
Macchiato. Right. Like, I totally get it. Hideki Matsuyama. Totally understand it.
Right.
You millennials are just not cultured enough because of the way we poorly raised you as Gen Zers. Or I guess I'd be Gen Xers. I can never get my own generation. I'm a Gen Xer. The damage that Gen Xers did to the knowingness of millennials, it's not possible for somebody like you to know the saying right as rain.
Well,
that'd be like Holloway saying it's personal use. Yeah, no chance. Fuck off. Like, there's no way you know right as rain.
Pay that man his money.
Right? Check. There's no way you know right as rain. You've never seen The Godfather. There's no way you know right as rain.
Roll up to Aden Holloway's car. Check.
It's not possible. It's just not possible.
Okay.
Marcus,
here's the natural response.
Marcus makes a good point. Unless right as rain was spoken in The Dark Knight, Jake did not know that line. And I agree, because the only movie you've ever seen is The Dark Knight.
What's the accusation, dude? What's the accusation? That I just happened to pick that up or something yesterday? Like, is that what the accusation is?
I don't know. You probably heard it in a song or something. I have no idea.
I can't tell you where I picked it up. I just have it. It's just in there somewhere, dude.
Okay.
And here comes the
Jake is not dumb as Jake is not a dumb dude. He's very intelligent. Do you not know what satire and sarcasm is?
This is just a really sad state of affairs.
Jake Do you understand that in no way, shape, or form do I think Jake is stupid? Ugly? Yes. Stupid? No.
Come on, dude.
Hello. It's called sarcasm. We're having fun.
Bro.
James, you don't condemn people with your words alone. You have to believe it in your heart to truly screw them over. Bro, Jake is like, we ball break. We're best friends. Like, we break each other's balls constantly. If he sends me a picture of a stone statue one more time, right? Like, you guys, don't you have friends? No, James doesn't. James
dude.
does
You're
not
giving him too much
have friends.
credit, bro. Let's review.
His mentor guy in the church thing, that's still weird to me. But yeah, what was I thinking? Like, dude that abides. Get him, James. Don't let big bad Monty bully your buddy Jake. Matchup throwdown. Does Jake have a sister asking for a friend? He does. Sort of. Not really. Kind of.
If you don't talk to people, are they still your family?
It depends on what Maury Povich says. Anyway, what were we? Darren Peterson being left off the All-American team. Wow. How did we get from right? Okay. Darren Peterson was left off the AP All-America team.
And I just want to point out, not one, all three.
All three.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a problem with it? Like, because you've taken this kind of personally. You think that Darren Peterson should go to prison for having full body cramps. Like,
well, I don't think. I think he's already in the court of public opinion prison for his behavior at Kansas. I think that people don't respect him. And again, with all due respect, I don't respect you. Right? You are lying about your availability, in my opinion. Again, my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but the problem is that you're asking an organization to give you millions upon millions of dollars when we've had guys come before you who have done similar stuff, haven't been available, your back, your knee, your mind, whatever it is.
Yep. My back is broken.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised. It's not some shocking development. And I think the real indictment is that AJ DeBansa is first team and Carlos Boozer is first team. And you've even got Toppin as first team. Like, I just think that you're seeing that that's the group that
who's out for the year with a knee injury, Toppin.
Yeah. So all the defense, and this is the part that I do take personally. The defense of Darren Peterson saying, "Oh, well, he's not a AP All-American because he's been out and missed time. So they're not going to say he's one of the best players." Yeah, well then how do you explain Toppin? Right? Look at this. I had like a full body cramp, super serious. You could say it was traumatic. I would say it was a traumatic experience. Okay. So let's review the film, dude. Let's review the film as usual. Where have I heard this before? Right? Ben Simmons talked all about this. Well, my back and my body and mentally it's taken a toll and I'm trying to get back into a quote good place. Like
who are you, Tiger Woods?
Yeah. Like I just want these guys. Like, I don't understand what's happened in terms of raising these guys, meaning something has changed to where these guys don't value the pride and the aura piece of being a college basketball player. The idea that you can go into a program, even if it's for a year, dominate teams, be that guy, be the number one, be the face of your team, and take it as far as you can. If that's an NCAA tournament berth, great. If it's a national championship, great.
Yeah.
But you can't just skip over that step in the process. Not until the NBA changes that back, because I do think they will at some point. But until
you do.
I do, yeah. I think that the NBA desperately needs a shock to the system. I think this vote, I think, will be automatic to expand, and I think that at some point one of the big updates in the league will be that they will say that you you can go straight to the NBA again.
I
That's
can't believe that ever happens again.
Well, the reason I say that is think about all the great stars that didn't go to college, rather. You had the two defining players of a generation not go to college. And now the NBA doesn't have that. And,
I think it's very rare.
Well,
I think
if it's so rare, then how did two faces of the league for 30 years make
so
it
you
happen?
mean LeBron and Kobe?
Yeah, Bron and Kobe, dude. Neither of them went to college. Both of them were the best players of their generations. And, I
think, but the problem is there's been so many Robert Swifts or
Greg Odens.
The bust outs. Didn't Greg Oden go to Ohio State? Where did Greg Oden go to college? I could be wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. My point is there have been so many guys that did not make it. And I don't understand why. I don't think they'll ever do that. I don't think they'll ever. Yeah, Greg Oden went to Ohio State. Yeah,
they need to do something.
I think, yes, I agree. The game needs fixing. It does not need skipping college. And LaMelo Ball is a great example of this. The kid is so immature.
Yeah, but he's an all-star.
Yeah, but he also is getting in car accidents.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
being and throwing.
You know what I'll say?
Throw furniture off of a
balcony. Yeah.
Driving a race car, driving a go-kart on top of a building.
He's not a great dude.
What are we doing?
He's not a great dude, but what I'll say, and this is what NBA teams care about, and this is what Darren Peterson doesn't seem to understand, dude. If you're good, if you're an all-star, if you're somebody that actually is on the floor consistently for your team and contributing, the BS becomes worth it. And for LaMelo,
you think it does?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I think that I mean, look all over the league, dude. I mean, look at how take Joel as an example. Joel Embiid, right? Joel Embiid has missed the same amount of games that he's played in. 458 games played, 458 games missed in his career. And he's worth it because when he is out there, he is one of the most dominant players in the league, if not the most dominant player in the league. An MVP when he's out there. The problem is availability. And so but then on the other side of it, if you take Ja Morant. Look at Ja Morant. Ja Morant's a perfect case study of, yeah, you're a good player, but you haven't shown the ability to help us win ball games, and you have all this drama off the floor, including weapon drama, which I think is a really sensitive subject in the league. And so I just think it really is case by case. Car accidents, and I know this sounds insane. I even have trouble saying it, but like car accidents, driving a go-kart on a roof, those things don't seem to be as much of an issue for NBA organizations as like felonies and crimes and like, weapons crimes, drug crimes, things like that. But gambling, you get into gambling, you're dead to an NBA organization. So I'm just saying, like, it's very situational, and that's what I don't think Darren Peterson and his crew understand. That you didn't, in my opinion, show enough to overcome the allegations of you don't enjoy playing. You're just doing this for the money. And you're like, basketball for you is the job that you do to make money. It's not like your life in a game that you love, and the money is kind of just a nice cherry on top, if you will.
Yeah, I think I would never draft Darren Peterson.
There's no way. You can't do it.
I mean, and I do think this has more credence now because AJ DeBanza is going to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that Darren Peterson has cost himself millions of dollars with these body cramps that I don't believe existed. And we can sit here and we can surmise, I don't believe this. The previous week we had a boot camp where we were just running, no basketball. The previous week caught up to me and my body just locked up on me. Then why has it been pretty much all season? It's not, this wasn't early in the season. I mean, this is recent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you're not starting games. You came off the bench. Like, come on. Come on.
If you're not able to make it through a camp and then play the next day or whatever, you got issues, dude. And again, that's what I'm saying. You have people in life, whether it's the NBA or not, like if they don't believe in your character, if they don't think that you are a good person, or like that you would do right by a situation, or that you'll be honest about how your body is feeling, they don't want you to be a part of their situation. They don't. What NBA teams don't want to add problems to their organization. You can add a player. It's so much easier to add someone who's a good teammate, good for your organization, good in the community, but maybe isn't a superstar, than it would be to add a guy who is trying to be a superstar, has shown some promise, but is a massive problem. Like I just don't understand how that's confusing for Darren Peterson and his people.
I don't think it's confusing at all. I think it's just stupid. That's what it is. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess maybe I'm just misreading the situation. AJ DeBanza did exactly what we said he needed to do, because he listens to the show, obviously. He took control of BYU. He won the Big 12 Player of the Year, first team all AP. He's probably going to have a huge NCAA tournament. I don't think BYU is going to go far, but he's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. And my guess is Darren Peterson comes out and he will be 3rd or 4th, because I agree with what Brandon said. They're going to cavity search this dude.
Yep.
Right. And it's not going to end well for him. Right. That's the thing. Aden did go to Ohio State. Thank you. Aden went to the Ohio State. Okay. The only way to fix the NBA draft is to require 2 years like the NFL. One and dones didn't fix the drafting of high school kids who aren't ready to play. And no NBA owner wants to give a kid tens of millions of dollars who you have no idea if he is mature or not. Guys like LeBron and Kobe were very different human beings. I can tell you, being at LeBron's first pro game and his last amateur event was in Chicago at a Hoops Summit, and sitting there and talking to LeBron, dude, he was a man when he was in high school. And Kobe was rough when he came to the Lakers. But you always knew those guys were lifers. Darren Peterson doesn't strike me as that. Maybe I'm wrong. 30 years ago, you did not have as strong of foreign leagues and players coming. I think they should expand not going to the NBA to 3 years instead of 1. 3 years is too much. 3 years is too much. What if these body cramps are just a sign that his cardio sucks? Well, he'll get exposed for that. I mean, you know. Is the guy trying to act like he's having issues like Brock Lesnar did there for a time? Maybe,
dude. Yeah. I mean, Brock Lesnar, the issues Brock Lesnar had is not a bad poll. I agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think the whole thing is weird.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is weird. Would you have him come back, or would you have him go to the NBA?
I definitely think he should come back. I mean, I think the only way you're not coming back is if you win a national championship this season. And if you do that, okay, go to the league. But I think I don't know. It depends on what he's willing to do. I mean, I would literally ask him, hey, like what are you willing to do to repair your image? If you're willing to play 40 minutes, all 40 minutes every single night, assuming you're healthy and you can repair that, then yeah, I would come back. I would come back and I would prove that you love the game and that you just had a rough season, but if you come back and you play a ton of minutes, you're not a problem. This whole injury issue narrative situation goes away. You put up big numbers, you dominate people. Okay, great, man. Awesome, dude. But if you're not willing to do that, then go to the league, risk getting drafted in the middle of the first round instead of top 5, because I do think he's going to fall. I don't think people trust him. I think he's at big risk to fall. Risk that and risk losing a bunch of money, and then there's the obvious question of how Bill Self feels about him and if Bill Self even wants him back. That's the other portion of this that I think really matters, is that does Bill Self want to continue to deal with him, or would it be a transfer portal situation?
Yeah, if he transferred, I think that'd be such bad business for him. I think that would be absolutely a disaster if he left Kansas. Where are you going to get bigger games than Kansas? You're going to go to Duke?
I mean, there's opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I can see, but that's the point, is that is that you have to figure out who's interested in you. This is the Iamaleava situation with UCLA, right?
Hey,
Who's interested?
Nate
who's
Oates
not.
is interested in him.
Then he'll go play for Nate Oates. I mean, it's, that's what I'm saying. He's put himself in a tough position here because now you're relying on people's opinions of you, which I think is a really dangerous game to play. The college basketball formula to get drafted is very simple. Be available, play your ass off, be a good teammate, be good in the media, just do your job, stay out of trouble, man. Just dedicate yourself for one season and you will reap the benefits of that for the next 20 years, bro. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't think there's any doubt he'll lose money in the draft because he should have gone number 1 and now he's going to go probably 3 through 5. He absolutely will get drafted. The question is, do you care about being the number 1 overall pick? Because if you do, you should go back to college.
But if he pulls this same nonsense in the tournament, I think he gets drafted lower than that if he goes out. You can't have the tournament is your playoffs, right? So if you're an NBA team looking at this, you're saying, okay, he's essentially in his playoff series window now. What it would look like for us, and he's playing 15 minutes a night. He's playing 18 minutes a night. Like that's not good enough, dude.
Not good enough.
That's not. You're not a top 10 player at that point. You're not. That's not. We're not giving you a rookie deal worth that much money to have you play 18, 20 minutes a night. And that's what I think he doesn't understand is that the expectation doesn't go down in the NBA. It goes up. And the best of them embrace that. Cooper Flagg embraced that. AJ, I would assume, will embrace that. Boozer will embrace that. But there's no confidence in him. That's why he should come back. And he should, if he was going to do this right, he would take it personally what's happened this year and realize, yeah, you know what? Like, I need to get this right. And I'm going to do a bunch of documentation about my off-season work. I'm going to have it all over my social media, and we're going to do a bunch of video work, and we're going to show people what I'm doing. And then I'm going to come back next year, and I'm going to be the face of this team, and I'm going to lead this team to the tournament. And if you do that, you'll get drafted high next year.
I think the only way that it makes sense for him to come out is if they win big in the tournament and he's the reason they're winning big. I think that's it. Wanting young adults' frontal cortex to fully develop before they turn pro, if anything, isn't outright wrong. But that's not why guys are doing it. That's not why we're telling people to. I just don't. Not everybody's the same. What does their frontal cortex have to do with anything?
I don't understand what you're getting at here, bro.
Is Cooper Flagg's frontal cortex fully developed? No. But he's a different human being. I think a lot of the issue continues to be how you were raised, where you were raised, who raised you. Like, you have to understand that every kid is different based on his living circumstances.
Yeah.
His mentorship, his education, the quality of his education, all of those things, the patterns and processes of learning. All of those things make you the mature or immature person that you are. So, kids should be 20 coming into the league. Dudes are getting destroyed by 30-year-olds. Look at the Keontae third year. He's finally maturing into a legit player. Truth. Some guys take more time. There are always teams like the Kings who are willing to draft someone like Peterson. Always. Mike Smith, I think, made the point. Somebody always take a flyer. No doubt. All right. Should we be controversial this morning? Did you guys hear about Jake Retzlaff? Where do you guys come down on this Retzlaff thing? Jake Retzlaff is back on campus. The BYU is back in Provo. And he is going to be throwing at their pro day this Friday in front of scouts and working with Chase Roberts and hoping to get exposure and get an opportunity maybe to be drafted or what have you. I think this is fantastic. This is exactly what should be happening, in my opinion, because you look at the honor code. I don't think you should ever deviate from the honor code. And I don't think this is BYU deviating from the honor code. I think what this is redemption. And I think Jake Retzlaff paid a massive price for what I think was one of the great frauds perpetrated against an athlete.
Agreed.
And I think he's paid that price. And I think the opportunity for Jake Retzlaff to come back to BYU to kind of close that loop, if you will. Jake, I don't see how this is a wrong move in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. When I first saw this, I was just thinking about like, all right, well, there's obviously the piece of the conversation about what this says about BYU's stance toward Jake, right? Like he's obviously not a student anymore. Like it's not like the honor code to me. I actually didn't feel like the honor code had a ton to do with this particular instance, him coming back, because he's just not a student anymore. So he's not under that. He's not under that umbrella anymore. He's a pro prospect coming back to his alma mater to, participate in a pro day.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't really have a problem with the honor code or anything like that. I think that Jake Retzlaff coming back to Provo is a clear signal to NFL scouts and NFL personnel that the guy mentally is pretty locked. Like he understands the process he had to go through. He understands why he had to leave, the court situation he had to go through, the billable hours he had to pay. And then from there, he had to go out and learn the Tulane playbook very quickly and go out and continue to dominate, which he did. And then at that point, he had to think miles ahead and think about, okay, well, where am I going to do a pro day? I know that I'm probably going to be, I'll be a low-end draft pick or an undrafted free agent. That's going to be my path to the NFL. And I think it shows a lot about his character and his willingness to put in the time that he's come back and he's maintained those relationships, I would guess, with all his teammates and the coaching staff on some level. And I think that, it is the right move. I think it's smart. I think that BYU's pro day every single year is always one that gets a ton of attention and a ton of coverage. I mean, we remember the infamous Zach Wilson running left, throwing right throw that got him drafted. And I think that if you're Jake Retzlaff, obviously not getting looks at the combine, was expected, but this is your opportunity. So I just think that yes, redemption, yes, closing the circle, yes, going through the process. But I think if you're an NFL team, you want this guy in your organization, dude. You want this guy to be on your sideline, suited up as a backup, as the first guy coming off the sideline if your starter gets hurt, whether that's a franchise guy or whatever it might be. You want this guy to be your backup because I'm telling you, this kid can play, and you put him in an NFL organization without the pressure of having to play, and you allow him to mentally develop and learn the playbook and understand the game at that speed. He's going to be, he will have moments in the NFL. I believe that. I don't know that he's ever a starter, but I think he can be that guy who's a backup that
Why do you say that?
Well, because I think that to be a starter in today's NFL, you got to have that over the top marketability and just raw ability that everyone is undisputed and knows and wants. And I'm not saying he doesn't have great ability, but you got to be like, I really feel like as a young quarterback, you got to be like what Jackson Dart was. You got to be, you can't, like his situation. He never got the opportunity to take BYU on an undefeated season and go into the CFP.
I agree.
So
yeah, they never closed the loop on it.
Yeah, he was robbed of that opportunity. And so if you're an NFL scout, you're in one of two camps in terms of Jake Retzlaff. You're going to be the guy that says, well, maybe, we need to ask him questions about what happened and all of that, and we have our concerns. Or you're the guy that says, you know what, like that's been put to bed. We can ask him about it, but it's really not a big deal in our evaluation of Jake. We're more looking at the fact that he's come full circle with it. He's got a good attitude about it. He came back to BYU for his pro day. Like we feel like he would be a positive in our organization. So I just think that the reason I say I don't know that he's a starter is because I think he's unproven in terms of NFL starter capability. I think he needs time to prove that still, but I don't think there's any question you want him on your sideline and you want him to be part of your organization. And that's what I think Jake's strong suits are in terms of the draft.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think what I'm pretty solid about and what I feel very strongly about is that this closes the the questions. This answers the questions, closes the loop.
Mm-hmm.
This is BYU helping Jake Retzlaff because I feel like this turned out to be a nothing burger. This turned out to be Utah fans putting a hit piece on Jake Retzlaff. That's what it feels like to me. And I feel like this is BYU standing up for Jake Retzlaff and helping him in the only way that they know how, which is to say that I think that they are trying to make right. I don't know. Did BYU do something wrong or did they wrong Jake Retzlaff? Certainly not.
I don't think
he violated the honor code and he was punished appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
But on some level, at some point, when you have an opportunity to help somebody who you like, who you cared about, and who spent a lot of time with you, I think you try to do that. And I think that's what BYU is doing here.
Yes. I couldn't agree more with that. And I don't think that when the issues came out, I don't think BYU was in a position to do anything else. That's the problem. But now they're in a position to help him. And I think that kind of speaks more to the situation overall. I feel like if we had never seen Jake again on campus or at their pro day or in Provo, I think that would have been a clear signal of how BYU felt about him. But because he is back, like, I think, it's pretty clear that they have a good relationship. And that's what I'm saying, man. I just think he's still got a shot, man. He's still got an opportunity. I think he can play. I think he can be in the league for quite some time. I think he is good enough. He's got the talent. He needs development. He needs to continue to be taught how to read a defense, when he can risk it, when he can't, where you want to put the ball, where you don't. Because I loved his style of play. Yes, he turned it over a little more than you'd like to. Sure. But you always knew you were going to take shots down the field. The defense always knew that those safeties better be 20 yards down the field when the ball is snapped because you were always going to go over the top. So I loved that about his game while he was playing for BYU.
Yeah, I think that it also signals the NFL that BYU believes in Jake. Because if you thought this guy was a heinous rapist, you wouldn't have him on your campus.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is. Part of morality is forgiveness. Sounds like each side is showing some of that. Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think Jake ever blamed BYU. The honor code at BYU is very black and white. You have sex outside of marriage, you can't be a student at BYU.
Yeah.
As simple as that. And that's what happened here. So if he wants to be the number one pick, it'll take him 2 years of showing. Yeah, I just don't think that.
Yeah, I disagree.
It's not going to take 2 years. I don't think in any way, shape, or form. Jake Retzlaff will be on the bench for 2 or 3 years, and then we'll start when the starter gets hurt. He goes in, and Jake will start from then on. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all guesswork. There's nothing. He's going to have to earn his way because he's going to be undrafted. He's going to have to earn his way. So, Jeff Benzos.
Hey, okay. Jeff, you were hating on me in the comments section yesterday. How are you?
Oh, what was he doing?
He was ripping me for my short, saying that the SEC is a better basketball conference than the Big 12, and saying that the Big 12 has more people drafted. The Big 12 has a winning record against the SEC this year. And then, of course,
got to do with anything.
Yeah. Then, of course, I responded to that and said, you're looking at a conference that's making twice the money the Big 12 is, has more teams in the tournament than the Big 12, certainly has more teams in the CFP than the Big 12. Like, I'm not really sure what draft picks have to do with anything, dude.
Yeah. Allowing Jake Retzlaff to come back shows forgiveness and redemption. BYU is known for having a top-tier pro day. So it's a great opportunity for Jake, and BYU shows there's no bad blood. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Initially, I thought he would go undrafted. However, this QB class is really weak. So now I could see him actually getting drafted on day 3. Maybe. Shouty.
Yeah, and by the way, it needs to be said, what's the pro day like for him? What kind of pro day does he have? I mean, is he, there's a big difference if you come out and you're slinging it and you complete, maybe you only have like 1 or 2 incompletions versus, if you don't look great and you struggle a little bit and you just have one of those days. So it'll be interesting to see what he can produce.
Yeah. What do you guys make of this? I still maintain Fernando Mendoza, much to this comment. I think Fernando Mendoza is a bust. I mean, the situation with the Raiders just can't get any worse. It just can't. What do you guys make of this Max Crosby story? Because I think this is ridiculous. And I will never understand how the Baltimore Ravens are allowed. How are the Baltimore Ravens allowed to get? Dude, I don't know how. You flew him to D.C., made them drive from D.C. to Baltimore. You flew him commercial, not private. And then you hear the other story about how they actually treated him when he was there. That stinks to high heaven. And while Max Crosby and his family were in the building, they were negotiating with Trey Hendrickson. It sounds like you found what you thought was a better option, but you had already made this trade, so you found a doctor to kill it so you could get out of it and get Trey Hendrickson.
Correct.
I maybe I shouldn't be amazed by it.
I just think it's
maybe I shouldn't be.
I think that in the NFL, organizations like to be like, oh, you got to take your emotion out of it. It's just business. Like, who cares about how Max feels, or like, who cares about how we treat players? Like, screw the NFL report cards, like screw player treatment. Like, I feel like we see that energy a lot in the NFL. And I just couldn't disagree with it more. I think that Max Crosby is a premier defensive end and defensive player in the league. Yeah. It will help you win a Super Bowl, which you have not done yet. And I think that it is, it's just a terrible look, man. And I need I remind you that the way you handled Lamar's negotiation was a terrible look. You've now fired your head coach, rehired another guy. Like, you're just not in a good place. And no, Eric DaCosta, I don't believe you that you're heartbroken and
I don't buy it.
You love Max more than anybody. And this was just about football. Save me, dude. Miss me with the lies and half truths about how you feel about this. Like, you guys, led Max on only to send him back. And you're doing it under the guise that the knee is a problem, even though he's on track to be ready to go for training camp. His doctor who performed the surgery says he's on track, says the MRI looks exactly how it should. Like, this is just you guys being red asses about it, being disrespectful and wasteful. And it just is a thing where, yeah, going from the Raiders to the Ravens is an upgrade for Max, no question. But I'm not sure that I'd want to play for the Ravens after that experience. It's brutal.
Well, and that's the message going around the NFL right now.
Yeah.
How many people want to go and sign with the Ravens? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot. And I think that's justified. Yeah. That's justified. And it is amazing to me how much of a screw job this was by the Ravens. My belief is the Ravens never wanted him. I think the Ravens wanted to keep him off the market so that their competitors wouldn't trade for him and they would go spend their money in other places, which is exactly what happened. Because the main teams, like the Bears are a perfect example. The Bears don't have the cap space anymore to sign Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't trade for him. And I think that my opinion is that was the Ravens' plan all along. They wanted Trey Hendrickson, but they didn't want other teams who were Super Bowl contenders to go and get him. And so those guys went out and signed other players while Max Crosby was traded to the Ravens and then never was.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's just so bad. And you're just at a point now, Max Crosby is going to stay with the Raiders now. It's too late. His money's too much. And there's just those opportunities are gone.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. And it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And it's just not cool. The GM was too busy working on the Hendrickson signing. That's what I think.
Apparently.
It's business, like the Sandusky stuff and the paternal cover-up of Jerry Sandusky's sex crimes at Penn State. Yeah, I agree. It's a business at Penn State. They signed Hendrickson the next day. Ravens are garbage. Yeah, totally. The Ravens were afraid of the curse of the ginger. You redheads.
Apparently.
You know. They realized they could get Hendrickson without giving up draft picks. Totally agree. Is there any way Dallas would trade for Max Crosby? They've said all along pretty much that they're not interested.
Yeah.
They're out on Max Crosby. Yeah. The Cowboys have said they're not in the Max Crosby trade.
And they've already invested in other players.
Which is what everybody else has done. It's brutal. It is a business.
But I will say for the Bears, it should be a learning lesson that if you want a guy, you need to go and get him. Your highest and best needs to be up front. You need to stop trying to cheap out.
Yeah. Real quick, back to BYU. Jake says that Bear Bachmeier sucks and he's never going to be anything
Not true.
As a quarterback. He says he's awful and terrible.
It's not true, all you Big 12 fans who hate me.
I have maintained that this is the most important offseason of Bear Bachmeier's life. And that I have heard and I have seen that he is working hourly on his mechanics. Jake says his mechanics sucks. He is a terrible quarterback. I believe that's what you said, right, Jake?
Yeah, man, just word for word. That's what I said.
Does this impress you?
Yes, it's better. Yes, it is.
It is night and day. What is your real opinion on Bear Bachmeier?
My real opinion is that he did as good a job as he probably could have done last year, given the situation. I agree with you that this was and is the most important offseason of his career to this point. There's no question about it. I think that the mechanics are one piece, and he's doing everything he needs to do to take care of this, and I give him a lot of credit for that. The other piece that will help take advantage of those improved mechanics is the knowledge in the playbook and the overall comfort with the calls coming in. He needs to get to a place where, just like I said with Jake, you can go over the top regularly, you can spread the defense out.
Yes.
And you can take the pressure off the running game so that you can run more effectively. Because the reason you were not even competitive against Texas Tech in either matchup and why you didn't get to the CFP is nobody believed that you could beat a competent defense. That was your problem. And the issue with that is that defenses were simply loading the box because they had no belief that you were going over the top. And so you couldn't run the ball. You certainly couldn't pass the ball. And that led to you not scoring very many points. So do I think his mechanics are improved? Absolutely. Do I think he's doing everything he needs to do? Of course. And I think he's got the talent. And I think that it'll be fun to watch him. There's no question about it. But the proof and the improvement will be in the combination between those two things. Because I do think Roderick has gotten better at play calling over the last 2 seasons. There definitely has been some improvement there. So this, to me, this kind of picture here, I like that they're wearing pads. I like that this is simulated, that this is football speed. And he looks pretty comfortable. That's clearly him pushing the ball down the field, which is great to see. So I think he's where he should be.
I think you look at how together his upper body and his lower body are, the fact that this was an absolute dime piece on the end of it. He has looked really good. The tight ends at BYU, which was a glaring problem last year, in my opinion. The tight ends are clearly upgraded. He is clearly upgraded. I would expect Bear Bachmeier to be a top 5 quarterback in the country next year. And I think the only question is how much will he grow mentally? Because now physically he is capable. Last year he was not physically capable of competing at a high level. He just did not have the mechanics to do that because he was rushed into service. I think Bear Bachmeier you've already seen he can stand and take heat. You've already seen him perform in big situations. Now the question is, how much can they expand the playbook to do exactly what Jake is talking about? Give him opportunities to use his athletic ability and win them big-time football games. And I believe that if he continues on this trend, I 100% believe that BYU will go to the college football playoff this coming season.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to get boat raced by Notre Dame. Well, yeah.
It's very simple, BYU fan. Take the drama out of it. Go undefeated or you're not in the CFP. Like, it's not hard to understand.
I think it's going to be interesting. PSG just destroyed Chelsea twice. I would hope so with the money you guys spend and the youth in our squad. I would hope so, but it's fine. Jake wants down landing to get Bear to play for the Ducks. Would that excite you if Bear Bachmeier went to your Oregon Ducks, Jake? You're an, by the way, just so that we're all clear, Jake lives in Eugene, Oregon. I don't believe you're an Oregon fan.
I'm not. I don't live here by choice.
Wow. Okay. That's an indictment.
It's not. It just is what it is, dude. And I'm not.
This place sucks.
I mean, it's. I'm not an Oregon fan. Yes, I have exposure to Oregon. Yes, I think it's a great program. I think that Dan's doing a great job. We've had epic meltdown fights over Dan, but generally speaking, I think he's doing a pretty solid job. And I think that it's just it shouldn't be a crime for me to say that it's not, I've lived a lot of places, dude. Like, you have to understand, I've lived in Chicago, spent time in St. Louis. I've lived in San Francisco, LA, Salt Lake, Phoenix. Like, I've lived all over the country, bro. And I know what I like and what I don't like. And I just think it's, it's not my favorite, but that's fine. But living here doesn't mean I'm an Oregon fan, certainly. It just means that I get to see the day-to-day with the fans and how it all kind of plays.
So would you call yourself more? I would call you an Alabama fan. I think you're a Bama fan.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Saban is kind of who brought me into college football. When he was in his prime in Alabama, that's when just with how it worked out, me growing up and things like that, that's, he was the guy that I kind of gravitated to for obvious reasons, And so, it's not that I grew up in Tuscaloosa or anything like that, because I didn't, but I just really enjoyed Nick Saban and what he was doing with the Crimson Tide at that time. So
Roll Tide. Delaric, last year he was like, "Hey kid, can you throw and run? Great, you're our starter." I agree. He was nowhere near prepared. But
that's not in again, it's not his fault. I mean, he wasn't supposed to even play last year. That's the thing. So that's why I say, like, yes, he had shortcomings last year, but I'm not even criticizing him. I'm just saying that's where his game was at, based on the fact he got thrown into the fire unexpectedly due to what happened with Jake. So I don't think, I like Bear Bachmeier. I think that he's got some personality to him. He plays with fire. I think we've seen him grind through saying injuries is strong, but just being banged up, as a football player, we've seen him grind through some of that stuff. So I think he's really tough, which is great in college football. You need your quarterback to be that way, I think, to win a lot of ball games. So I think that Bear's doing, as far as he's concerned, my belief is he's doing everything that he can do. We don't have any concerns or conversation talking points or pieces that are like, hey, Bear's not doing this or he's not doing that. Or like, he's doing everything that he could possibly do. But I just think that when you play at BYU, there are expectations, but there are also things that are out of your control that you have to deal with the CFP. So success at BYU, I think, isn't just measured by, what you do in the offseason. You have to find a way to get to a level that BYU hasn't been to this season. And that, I think, is a tall task so I think that's what's challenging.
Thank you for the compliment on the green jacket today.
It looks really good, dude. It looks really good. It stands out. And
thank you, Jake.
Yeah,
I appreciate you calling that out, man. I was a little insecure about it, and how's that
you fixed your pre-show process and picking out the colors, and you watched the film, and you came through with a good selection.
I get dressed in the dark. How's Zepbound going for you?
Yeah, it's going good, man. Just slowly but surely been kind of in the,
You're on 5.0 now?
Yeah, I'm on 5.0. And it's a good level for me. It's been easy to use. Had a good weekend of, meal prepping, which was great. Been eating the hell out of that food.
Is it easier when your girlfriend is out of town or when she's in town?
I would say that it's easier when she's out of town, I would say, just because it's literally just me at the house with my dog working, and that's it. Like it's an extremely
simple,
like it's simple, but it's also like isolated and like just sort of just me doing the things that I need to do. And then the food just kind of works itself in when it does. I don't really have, there's not really a huge rhythm with eating. It's just like, all right, cool. Like it's 11 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything today. Starting to feel a little tired, which in my experience with Zepbound means I need to eat, and then once I eat, my energy comes back and everything's cool. And so, it's not that when, my girlfriend's in town, it's that much harder, but like it just depends on the day, honestly, and how you're feeling. I will say I've been sleeping like a rock lately, which has been really nice. I went through a stretch like 2 weeks ago, maybe, where I just had like a week straight of just like waking up at like 11 and then I'd wake up at 2, and that and the sleep was just ass, which was terrible and brutal and such a struggle. So it's been really nice that, I've been working hard to get up to bed around 8:30 and then like try to be sleeping by like 9:15. And that typically allows me to sleep well. And when I sleep well, I do so much better. And it goes without saying that for me, I'm a different person on like 8-9 hours of sleep than 6-7. 8-9 hours is I am in an ideal world. If I could do anything, like I would definitely be prioritizing not only having an 8-hour window to sleep, but having a half-hour window to wind down before I try to sleep. Because when I do that, when I get the wind down window, dude, I sleep hard, bro. Like when I'm, that yawny phase you go through on the couch, if I'm in that phase and I'm already laying in bed, I'll sleep like a rock that night. So overall, I would say it's going good. It's just, you just keep going. You just go through it.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's a game changer. It is a game changer. Did you fill out your bracket, Jake?
Yes. I filled out the bracket. I got on a desktop yesterday.
Yep.
Deleted all my brackets, went back through it, and I can't honestly tell you what the issue is because the process was the same in the app, but I was able to. It worked on the desktop. So
we're only at 2. Chad Carter and Frank Ryan have incomplete brackets. That's it. Everybody else now is complete.
Yeah.
Wow, we're up to 60. It's so many.
I don't even think the number matters. I mean,
no, it probably doesn't.
They'll all get weeded out.
The
bracket's too big to. It's really hard to win it.
But I just want people to. So many people have said, "Are you really giving away $100 gift card?" Yes. We are really giving away a gift card. Derek Roche, who's been a member for 32 months.
Very nice.
Appreciate you, Roquette. Will Bear be better than Dampier next season? Well, that's Devin Dampier's a stud. That's awfully difficult. That's a huge high bar. I think that's going to be close.
Yeah.
That's going to be close. That's an interesting question. I mean, I guess
I just think the situations are so different, dude. I think
Utah's in so much transition.
Yeah, we never got to it, but Morgan Scalley donating $2 million to the program, I think speaks to the desperation that program's going through right now. I think that their efforts to mask the trouble that program is in have been immense. With I agree. The awkward interview with Holly to, all the, like Mark Harlan getting, I can't remember what the accolade was, like, AD of the year or whatever by whatever outlet. Like they pushed the hell out of that, like you had, again, his donation to the program. Like they've been working their ass off to get as much positivity as possible. But I don't think that, look, and I'll eat crow on it all season long. I'll be happy to be wrong about it. I don't personally believe in Morgan Scalley as a head coach yet. He's going to have to show me that he is a head coach can do more than
you
just
said
have,
yet though.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not saying he sucks, but the truth is there's a difference between being number one and being number two. And he's been number two to this point. And I'm not saying he's done a poor job, but what I'm saying is the pressures and the expectations when you're the number one and it's your show are a totally different ballgame. And so I'll expect them to have a really good defense as usual. I think he's a wizard defensively, always has been, always will be. But to your comment here, Roche, yeah, Dampier in the offense, I think
that's a big ask.
Yeah, it's just a massive question mark. And I think when you guys remember all the effort he put into talking about his relationships in Houston and the recruiting trail in the Holly interview.
Yes.
I'm going to have to hold you accountable to that during the season if your offense is ass, dude. If your offense sucks and you're not able to put up even 20 points a game, like, I'm going to have to ask, like, hey, well, what about all your relationships, dude? What about all the stuff you talked about with all the people you know and all in your ability to get talent? Like, so I just think that BYU and Utah shouldn't be compared right now, even though they will be. BYU is in a completely different situation. Even with losing Jay Hill, they should still be a CFB contender.
Yep. Gabe, tell us about Little Lope's fundraiser. I think I saw something on your Instagram about that.
Yeah, Little Lope has a bracket situation going on. Gabe, you should put that link you share in the members only. You should put it in the chat, and people can go to it. I don't know all the details around it, but it's essentially a fundraiser where you can pay to do a bracket to help support. I think Little Lope's baseball, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and if you don't follow Gabe, you shouldn't. I mean, Gabe's a degenerate. You don't want to hang out with him. But
he's really focused on the key business lately, so
the key business. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, listen, he does go to Alabama, Gabe. He doesn't go to Alabama. Yes, there it is. 2 days left to get your men's bracket submitted. Get your bracket today. $25 a bracket to raise money for Little Lope's Club. So, yeah, follow Gabe. You can find him, Gabe Ledley, Leadley, on Instagram is where you find him. Gabe's a good dude. We know Gabe very well. So, came and visited us for our watch party a couple of years ago. Like, amazing. Man alive, had not had an 8-hour sleep since I was doped up in the hospital, bro. I almost feel bad. I go to bed and I fall asleep.
Yep.
I'm out. My wife is not that way.
Neither is mine.
But I get 6 hours max. That's it. When you wake up at 3:50 every day, which is when I'm trying to get out of, I'm trying to get out of bed at 3:50 every day. Dude, it's tough, man. It's tough. And I'm the degenerate scumbag who wants that 3 a.m. stand hour credit towards my 12 hours of stand every day. Why are you shaking your head?
Ridiculous, dude.
What?
You want the 3 a.m. hour, bro? You're wild for that. Dude.
Yes. Dude, I closing all my rings with this set bound thing, closing all my rings makes a huge difference. Yeah. Huge difference. And breaking the club at the range last night.
Do you think you'll be able to get it handled by the time LA gets here?
I need it by Saturday at noon because I'm playing golf this weekend. Because this is my last chance to play golf.
You playing the course that we played?
Yes.
Yeah, you can get away with many there, though.
I think you probably can. So I'm hitting the ball well. I just need to work my driver.
Could be your opportunity to get a different driver.
I'm a PXG guy, and I don't even know what driver I would go to. There's so many. There's such a love-hate relationship with TaylorMade drivers.
Not the new one, dude. The prior generation, the QI10, I believe it is. That Scotty loved. That's the one that was allegedly legendary.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the Ping. Those two are the ones that everyone talks about. But
I don't know.
Then there's Cam Young hitting Titleist 375 yards. So,
well, that's probably the one that I would go with. I'd go with a Titleist GT something if I was, but I love the PXG Black Ops driver. I hit it very well when I hit it very well. And now that I have this top to bottom swing, like golf is so strange mentally. You can't tell me, okay, well, I need you to swing lower. I need your arms and hands to drop. That does nothing for me. If you say you have to start with your hands high and then you have to finish with your hands low, boom, done. Like I had 10 driver swings yesterday. All of them were 300 yards. All of them were power cuts and the problem I've been having is the cut is much bigger lately. This underneath motion has tightened up the cut to 15 yards left to right.
Yep. Because you're squaring the club face.
Yeah. So it's working. It's working, whatever it is. What'd you say, Jake?
Well, what I was going to say is that not the same thing? That you were saying that it doesn't work for you to say to lower your hands, but you were just saying that like high hands to like.
Yes, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of, it's, I don't know. I think that the thing that would benefit you greatly is like finding finding the feel before you swing 100%. Like one of the things that you never do is go slower to find the right feel. And that I'm a big believer in that, is that when you're trying to find how to drop your hands before moving forward, you have to figure out, okay, well, what does that even feel like? I don't even know how to do that. And then once you figure it out, you're like, oh, okay, it just means that I need to, like, for me, it means that I need to take my right elbow and just feel that going down before I do anything moving forward. And when I do that, I hit the ball much better.
Yeah. We'll find out. Yeah, I need to figure it out today. My guy Garrett Van Dyke, who is a master fitter with PXG. If you want to get fit with PXG, use the code Monty Golf and it gets you a free fitting at PXG. Monty Golf is our promo code with PXG. Garrett Van Dyke is fantastic. If you're in the mountain region, it's certainly Idaho and Utah. Garrett Van Dyke's your fitter for PXG. Lovely human being. Really good dude. Really good fitter. It's amazing. Drop the link in the IG members chat too. Appreciate you, casuals. Yeah, if you want to become a member of our Instagram members only chat, all you have to do is become a members only member here on YouTube, and Jake will add you.
Yes.
So there you go. It's a good community of dudes. All right, real quick. Do we do the penis enlargement story, Jake, or do you think that's too over the top?
No, it's not over the top. Let's do it.
How much do you guys think about your member? How much?
Your third leg was just phenomenal.
How much do you think about it? Do you think about, because I've embraced, I've embraced the 3-inch life.
Length and girth.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so you've okay. So what's the story though? Because you didn't send this to me. What's the story?
There is a boom of penis enlargement surgeries.
Macaque.
But it's much like going to South America to get your hair plugs.
Oh God.
20 G's for penis enhancing procedures that enlarge their manhood in less than an hour. And they're going to these med spas. In particular, one of the more prolific ones is in Dallas, where you're paying $20,000 to a medical technician, not a doctor, not a urologist, a medical technician who will give you a larger member if this is what you would like.
Holden Middick.
This medical technician says he hopes that this brings relief to men across the world.
I think that's HIPAA.
He says penis enlargement procedures are booming, with crowds of men constantly filling his waiting room looking for results. They come from all walks of life: exhausted parents, OnlyFans performers, and border agents.
Pay that man his money.
He also says that this is the subject of a documentary at South by Southwest called Manhood.
Bro, what are we doing? I mean, you guys can't be serious, dude. That we care this much about this. Like, you're willing to spend 20 G's
Yeah.
To enlarge it. I mean, are you not just going all in? I mean, are you not just going full like foam pole with it at that point? Like what? Like like what? Like does bro have a brochure on like the different sizes and makeups? Like what I don't understand here, dude, is I get it if you suffer from a condition. If you legitimately are a human being that is micro, I get it, dude. I
micro.
Get it. However, if you're just an average bro and you just have a pride complex about you, I don't understand this.
It's a non-surgical in-office procedure using hyaluronic acid fillers to enhance girth, quote, in a way that is adjustable and reversible. It is, quote, designed to work with the natural anatomy of a penis, providing a customizable aesthetic result without invasive surgeries.
Okay, here's
Most
the
med
English
spas,
version. They're injecting you.
Yeah, they're going to put a needle in your shaft.
Yeah.
Most med spas use hyaluronic acid in their injections, which is standard for facial fillers meant to smooth wrinkles and restore volume.
Dick Hammer.
The acid typically lasts for 6 to 18 months. If administered incorrectly, the injections can lead to severe issues, urological surgeon Eric Chung said. In rare instances, infections can spread to cause gangrene and the loss of your penis.
Dude, so let me get this right, dude. Quote, in rare instances. Sir, can you tell me what defines a rare instance when you're talking about injectables?
Dude.
Like, come on, dude.
No.
I mean, should we be normalizing this the way we've normalized, like, you know, getting implants or like getting any type of injection or Botox or like whatever the procedure is, dude, to make us more confident as people? Like, I don't know, dude. I struggle with this one, bro.
Okay,
I could never see myself doing this.
I'm not putting a needle in my joint.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah.
I am not doing it. And number two, I am fortunate that this is not, I am not micro.
Oh, well, hey, Monty, can we get Mrs. Monty on the show to kind of talk about, you know, the situation and, you know, what it looks like?
Look, as small as my joint may be, I am not micro. You know, I actually thought about
beta.
I actually thought about penis size last night because I was talking to Garrett about where the shaft broke.
No.
And I said, you know, hey, man, it's about the length of my thumb.
Macaque.
From the hosel.
Macaque.
I'm not doing this.
Bro.
Can you measure it?
I don't need it. I am not, you are not taking a needle, putting acid in my thing. My guy is fine. Yeah, that's a hard pass. No pun intended.
That's a no for me, fam.
That's a no for me, dog. You put it on the table and use the old rolling pin to stretch it out.
Listen, we're in a strange time.
So apparently the way this works is you get the injection in your shaft, and then he gives you a silicone sleeve that you are meant to wear around all day, and it naturally stretches out. So I'm walking around with an NRB all day?
Yeah.
How does that
not
work?
The obvious question?
How does that work?
So you're what? So it doesn't. So it literally is the same size. Once you do the injection, it's the same size all the time. Then because you've injected it, there's nowhere else for it to go. That's wild.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Bro.
I'm not going to Jimmy in Dallas where he can stick a hypodermic in my Johnson, and I'm going to expect that to,
big boo.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Dude,
gangrene.
No way.
Gangrene in your meat club. Good grief. That alone is not worth even thinking about the procedure.
Just take it nice and easy, okay? Just relax.
Hey, how's your dating life? Yeah, it's not good. My penis fell off. Yeah, no, I'm going to say I'm a no. No. Isn't that the same junk pump acid that Olympic skier jumpers got busted using? Yeah, because they wanted bigger suits.
Yeah, and this is right up the alley of bro in like Indonesia or wherever he was doing enhancements out of his trunk. Like, come on, bro.
But here's the problem. Don't we judge dudes based on what we perceive their size to be?
I'd love it to be wider.
Isn't there Wait, was he talking about his junk or the Strait of Hormuz? Don't we judge dudes based on the size of their schwanz like we do?
You are what you are.
Right? Like we make jokes about forearms and shoe
Lifted
sizes
trucks.
and lifted trucks. The bigger the truck, the smaller the joint, right? Like we make judgments based on dudes having small D's. And this forces bros to fly to Dallas and get hypodermics stuck in their joint. And I'm not doing it.
Of course, I understand why people are upset.
Bro, can you imagine that? Like you walk into the office and they're like, all right, drop them. Let's do this. No, actually, no, I don't think so, dude. I'm going to go ahead and pass on that, bro.
Here's
I'm
some
good.
tweezers. Go ahead and pull that thing out. Right? Like no. But this goes back to what I always say. Women who are like, oh, bro, it's not the size of the boat. It's the motion on the ocean. Shut up.
I just try to stand strong.
No, it's not the motion on the ocean. It's absolutely a super yacht or a dinghy. One of the two. It is not the size of the motion on the ocean, friends. The size of the boat matters.
You know.
Agreed. It does matter. It does.
And when my wife mocks me for having a small penis, it hurts my feelings.
I get that.
Me and Mrs. Monty actually joke about this all the time.
The cock.
So she doesn't want to hear it.
About it all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear it. She's like, why do you say stuff like I am big into self-deprecating humor. And but let's just say I wear a size 15 shoe, friends.
Unless it's on eBay and then you don't wear it anymore.
No, unless it's on eBay, unless my wife is selling all of the shoes I want to keep. Every one of them she's selling.
Tampering.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I just thought I'd send you guys off into your day with the secret boom of penis enlargements.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. That's absolutely wild.
No. The answer is no. No, I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good. The Monty Show, as always, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. Very apropos here.
Yeah, if you have any issues with your enlargement?
That gangrene sets in. You got to get an attorney who knows how to fight the fight, right? Let's just leave it right there. The Advocates at theadvocates.com. 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com, where you never pay a penny out of pocket to get clear, risk-free advice. Until tomorrow, avoid the gangrene, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.